Hello, what's going on, guys? Welcome to One versus One Me. How is everyone? That's D. I'm Cakes. You all know that now, I'm sure. If you don't, then it's just rude. Hi Vlad. Hi Jed.
You'll get to
Last
know
night was...
us.
Well, meh. Sure.
Meh.
Why not?
You get to know what we share of ourselves on YouTube anyway.
Well, yeah. What you're allowed to see. Yeah, last night was great, Jed. Thanks for having us. Well, I say us, me, not D. Stick in the
I decided to just sit in the chat last night, although that was a waste of time because, like I say, what I was saying to you a minute ago, about 70% of my comments just weren't showing up and I weren't swearing. I wasn't like putting Corona in a lot of them. I don't know what YouTube's playing at the moment. I really don't, but yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was in the chat, Jed, like he says, but
he was just nowhere near as much as I should have been. Like I say, I put loads in the chat that just was not responded to. So I guess, like I say, YouTube have decided to shadow ban me because it's not just your channel. It's happened on a few other live chats I've been in. Unless I'm a moderator, it seems a lot of my comments just don't go through. Got banned from Facebook for the first time this year. First time ever this week. Yeah. 60-day ban, so Facebook jail for me. I only went on every 2 weeks anyway, so like, I mean, it's not like it was a major thing for me. The funny thing was, it was the reason I said a year is because I got banned for a post that I posted a year ago. Yeah, and it was only a meme. It was a meme that I got off Facebook, and the meme was a copper like split in half and a Nazi officer, and it said, "I'm just following orders." And that's what got banned from Facebook for. So yeah.
Rude. Hi, Chris. How are you doing, mate?
Yo, Chris. But no. Unfortunately, by the time I was pissed off with not my comments not going through, Jed, you'd filled up. So yeah, I didn't have a chance.
It was a good night. I had a lot of
you got to meet some proper old school people then. Literally, that was apart from you, that was a panel of people that have been there from the beginning. I mean, like I'm like new compared to them. Like, I'm 2 years behind that panel. Like, yeah.
I'm glad to put a face to the name with Cigar Face. So he's really sweet. He seems really nice. And Issa, he seems pretty cool.
Issa's awesome.
He seems so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the first people I met when I got into the Flat Earth, and I'd talked to him loads in the past and stuff. I mean, how much he'll remember of me, I don't know, but he put me on the whole lawful route, and
yeah, you said that. I did read that. Yeah.
Law. No, that did pop up in the
Yeah. I responded to you in the chat there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good to see him on the panel. But I sent you a link as well to his channel now as well, so you can. Yes. He goes live every so often as well. He does like Flat Earth Court.
No, he seemed cool. He seemed really nice.
Yeah. And as for Cigar Face, yeah, he seems really cool on panel. Like, the only interaction I've kind of had with him in the past has been as a troll, like where he's just been like writing terrible shit in the chat and stuff. He's like proper well known as like a troll. Like, but yeah, obviously since I've had my break from YouTube and come back, yeah, a lot's changed. And these people we tried to dehumanize as trolls, it turns out they're actually human beings, and yeah, some of them are pretty decent. So yeah.
Shocking. Well, all the interactions I've had with Cigar Face have been in VB's chat. I saw him on Hitchhikers as well, and he was really nice to me there. He was like, "Oh, it's good to see you here," on Jed's, and then I think I might have seen him in one of PMars's live streams as well, but I'm not too sure. Maybe he seemed really nice.
Cigar gets everywhere, so yeah.
Yeah, no, all the interactions I've had with him, he's been really nice to me in the chat with me. So, yeah, it was really nice and chill last night. It was difficult to get a word in edgewise. Thank you very much, Vlad. Yeah, we all like Vlad. Like, Vlad's awesome, but when he's had a bit too much to drink, I don't think he quite realizes how much he's talking.
Yo, VB. Yeah.
Hiya,
Well, no,
VB,
this
how
is the
you
thing
doing?
with every drunk person. It's not the fact he was talking lots, because he didn't actually say a lot, if you get me. It was the fact, unfortunately, he got into the drunk mode of repeating himself, repeating himself, repeating himself, repeating himself, repeating himself. So it seemed like he was saying a lot. But that, unfortunately, that was Jed's fault. Jed needed to turn around as host then and say, look, you're repeating yourself now, mate. Come on, let's get on to the fucking point. Other people have got shit to say. But when everyone's drunk, it's not always that easy. That's the thing. So
no. Well, that's why I went to go get a drink. I was like, I'm too sober for this, and I went and got a drink. I got quite drunk in the end. I stumbled up the stairs.
No, I mean, I was putting in chat last night. I've never seen Vlad this drunk before. Like, oh my god!
I saw
then all
that.
of a sudden, it was just like, buff. He just fuck. He did a dally. He did a dally. I couldn't believe it.
Whoops. Yeah, I put in the chat Dally 2.0. It was good. It was good. So, do you want to talk about what you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, I basically watched Max Egan's latest video earlier, and yeah, he really came out and basically blamed the flat earthers for the failure of the truth movement. And not basically, he did. He blamed the flat earthers for the failure of the truth movement. I mean, I think it's a bit harsh, personally. I mean, for me, it was the flat earth movement that woke me up to everything. So, I mean, obviously, there's good and bads with all these movements. And kind of like, as I was saying to you before, it highlights the fact that everybody who doesn't agree with a certain movement is going to think that that movement is a detriment to their movement. And yeah, you find this all the time. It's all part of the division, basically. So yeah. Oh, yo, Mick, how's it going, man? And yeah, but I've never seen him go like quite so attacky at anybody before. But yeah, he really went into a proper. Go to his latest video. It's an interview he's done on another channel. Go to the 41-minute mark and just watch it for a few minutes, guys. I mean, you won't find the Crow House easy enough.
See, I didn't take it necessarily as that way. I also took it as an annoyance that people discredit things because of certain movements. Like we were just saying before the show, like somebody will discredit a very valid point because an anti-vaxxer has said it. Oh, they're an anti-vaxxer, they don't know anything. And I think he was just putting out his frustration because of that. I didn't necessarily take it as him necessarily blaming the flat earth movement more than using the flat earth as a
example of how
yeah,
people aren't taking things seriously because of other things. But yeah, I mean, it could be that, and I could have just interpreted it the other way. But like I said, I really did interpret it as an attack on flat earth in particular, because it's not as if he said any other of the truth movements, which is a joke term in itself, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, I touched on it yesterday without even watching this Max Egan video. Yesterday when I mentioned my mum's friend had posted something really credible about coronavirus, and my mum clicked on her profile, found that there was flat earth stuff on there, and in my mum's mind that completely discounts any credibility whatsoever. Which shouldn't be the way. That's like, oh, I'm not going to trust what you say because you're wearing denim, or fuck what D says, he's wearing a stupid hat.
Yeah, see, in a way, well, you're right, but in a way, you're wrong as well, because again, you judge people on what you see as their intellect level, right? So if you think a flat earth is stupid because of what they believe, then you're going to judge them as stupid. I mean, it's the kind of micro judgments we all make every day. It's how we get along in life. But it's this information. Don't chuck out the baby with the bathwater. Like, there's valid information everywhere, and
that's what I mean. Yeah, like, and that's
it doesn't
how
matter
I
what you
took.
think truth or not as well. Like I say, this is what comes down to objective truth. We forgot this. The New Age movement fucked us all up and made us think everything's relative. Like, oh no, it's just your subjective opinion. Oh no, that's okay. It's just you're right because that's your subjective opinion. No, there is right and wrong. 90% of people are wrong. Simple as that. Like, if not more. And I'm not trying to say I'm right here or anything. I accept the fact that, yeah, the chances are I'm probably wrong on most of what I say. But it's not going to stop me looking. It's not going to stop me giving my opinions on shit.
Not going to stop you chatting away there, dear friend. Let's catch up again. Hi, Cabbage Knickers, and hello, Dan. How are you both doing? Vlad said that we should see the kitchen, broken glass and puke everywhere. Very shocking to see once I sobered up. I'm barely feeling better. Poor Vlad.
I do feel for you, but at the same time, you brought it on yourself, mate. When you down that drink, I half expected you to pass out down in it, mate. You were gone before then. Yeah,
I just can't believe you did that
drunk before last night. And yeah, I mean, you were saying very valid points. It's just, yeah, you were repeating those valid points again and again. And it was a struggle to watch you last night, unfortunately. And I usually enjoy listening to your rambles. So yeah.
No, same. Yeah. It was an experience, to say the least. It really was. And it's frustrating because there was quite a lot of things about the media that, like, me and VB were trying to talk about. So, you know, is today Easter? No, that was last Sunday.
Yeah, it was last Sunday. Yeah.
You're a week late.
Yo, P Miles, how's it going, man?
And hello, P Miles, how are you?
But see, Easter went without a thought in my head. Like, literally, it was the next day that I even remembered it was Easter. So yeah, it was the Monday kind of thing that I'd even, because we hadn't really brushed on it or anything on the show that it was Easter or anything like that. Luckily, my kids are grown up now, so they're not expecting Easter eggs and shit. But
or I made a mushroom Wellington as part of our Sunday lunch for Easter Sunday last week. Yeah, it's yummy. Scrummy. What do you mean, no?
Mushrooms, I hate mushrooms. I hate mushrooms with a vengeance.
Oh,
I mean, the only mushrooms I touch are magic mushrooms, and that's because they have an effect on you. But even then, I'll strain it down into tea rather than eat the fuckers.
But when you mince up mushrooms, you don't get the texture of them. That
you do.
You don't. I don't know what you're talking. So my son hates mushrooms, but he'll eat minced mushrooms. You're just weird.
Yeah, could be. I know I'm weird when it comes to food anyway.
Yeah, you are. I don't know how you're alive.
Yeah, Vlad, I really don't know.
She was the one who closed my laptop. Thankfully, I was muted. She said it was horrible to watch me puke and flailing about on the floor. To be honest, Vlad, I think if we'd have started to hear you vom, I think Jed would have muted you. I don't think Jed would have made us listen to that. And if he would have, then, well, dick. Oh, you muted him. Oh, okay. I didn't realise. Oh yes, no, it was when he was trying to play guitar, and I was like, Jed, just mute him.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad. And then Jed's there lying to him, like, oh, it sounds great. No, Jed, it didn't. Why are you lying to him? Stop giving the man false hope. Yeah. Issa was very good. I did really enjoy Issa's music.
I enjoyed watching you last night, Vlad, purely for the comedic value. Honestly, it was amazing. I haven't quite laughed out loud so much in a while. I have little chuckles, but I was laughing out loud last night. It was brilliant. You were excellent.
Yeah, it was good. He was slapping his guitar. He was just like bash, 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 slap, slap, slap. Lunatics. And I once, do you know what? I text my colleagues once I put the hair dye on my hair. I text them and I was like, "Fuck, these are the same colours as Harley Quinn." Like, I was so annoyed. But like the ends are purple, like the roots are pink, and then the ends are purple, and then this side it's like teal, and then blue.
Yeah, I like the teal and blue together, but teal's a favourite blue of mine. So
yeah. But no, I realised after that, and I'm not a comic book person. I'm not into to like.
Yeah, you're not into the superhero scene. Yes, you probably haven't even watched the new movie. That's terrible, by the way. Absolutely fucking terrible. Don't bother watching it unless you want to waste however long the movie is, because it's that bad.
Which
And
new
I
movie?
get into any old superhero crap normally.
Which new movie are you on about?
Birds of Prey, the new Harley Quinn
Oh.
movie. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say, you just said the new movie. Like, I'm
We
sure
talking about
there's like.
Harley Quinn. I figured you'd put two and two together. Shit.
No, we were talking about superheroes in general. So I wasn't sure if you meant like Suicide Squad or something like that, because I've heard of that
She's
one.
in that one as well, but that's not
why
too bad. It's not great, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, so I'm not into
Rocker.
the
How's it going, man?
superheroes. That's who mentioned the Harley Quinn hair. Yeah, hello, Rocker.
Sorry, I'm not keeping up very well.
I did my hair green and painted my face.
Yo, madam.
Hi, madam. Oh, jinx, touch wood. I went. Boop, boop. It was a good Joker. Was better though. All superhero films are crap, bar a couple. Yeah, I'm just not into. I'm just, not into it. It's not. No, I don't. So then I was really annoyed once I'd realised I'd done Harley Quinn hair. I was like, oh, bollocks.
You've subconsciously seen it and absorbed it and done it. See?
No, it's just normally I have all of these 4 colours in my hair, but in a different order, and I was like, "Fuck it!"
You just happened to randomise it to the right.
Straight down the middle. Look, straight down the fucking middle. When Dan came upstairs, when I had just the bleach in my hair, I said to Dan, "I says, what shall I do with my hair?" He goes, "Oh, you should do half and half," and I was like, "Why not?" Yeah. So I did half and half ombre. And then once the hair dye was in my hair and I'd taken a picture of like pink over here and blue over here, I was like, fuck's sake, that's Harley Quinn. God damn it. Fangirls. So it'll probably be different by next week. I just want to give my hair a little bit of a break. It will quite possibly be different. It also might not be because I'm quite lazy, as we've established. So
it could just be faded next week, then. Yeah.
Oh, it will definitely be faded. It will definitely be a lighter pink than this. Okay. They churn them out, and they're mostly terrible. Yeah, I do feel like they just kind of pander to the audience of them wanting constant films instead of just making a decent couple.
Well, no,
Like
because they had long enough. They have long enough to make these movies. Like they have plenty of time to get it all right. The problem is they fit too much of the agenda into them to make them decent movies. Don't get me wrong; they're enjoyable movies, a lot of them, but they're not good movies. And that, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a few that stand out. Like for me, Thor Ragnarok. That is actually a proper fun, really good film. I totally enjoy that one. Trying to fit. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. I love both of those ones. The second one, not quite as much, but yeah. So there are a few like gems. Ant-Man. Not the second one. The second one's shit. Ant-Man and the Wasp. But yeah, yeah. It's kind of going off subjects of the whole.
So I'm not allowed to talk about hair, but he's allowed to talk about garbage films. What the fuck?
I know, it's terrible. Right, yeah, you're allowed to talk about hair. Who's what? Eh? Oh.
I don't know who Kelly
This is why we
can
let you talk, because you talk for 15 minutes. Yeah, talk about hair for 15 minutes.
I mean, I didn't bring it up. Yeah, I don't know who Kelly Brook is. So.
She's an English model / actress, isn't she?
That's why I just said I don't know who Kelly Brook is.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for the comment that's got Kelly Brook in it. Sorry.
He said, "Does anybody else think Cakes looks like Kelly Brook?"
Oh yeah, so he does.
But then Chris asked if he's drunk, so that's kind D. Let's Google.
Well, yeah, actress. Yeah, that is kind. Yeah, she's been in some movies and TV shows. Doesn't necessarily make her an actress, but yeah. She tends to play busty brunette.
Is this just because I've got boobs? Like, is that the only reason?
I'm trying to think.
Because
I'm not.
I've just got a
Because she's
picture of her,
quite
and I
dark
don't.
skinned, you're quite light skinned, so I'm not
I
seeing the
am pale as
similarity there.
fuck.
Maybe slightly in the eyebrow region, but apart from that, I can't see any similarity myself.
No, I can't. Let's close that
Oh,
one.
you've got a picture of her now, have you?
Yeah, I googled it. I googled her. Sorry, not it. That's a bit rude. No, the face just looks alike. Maybe I think it's just you, mate. Sorry, brat. So, Max Egan.
Yeah, Max Egan. Well, again, I mean, it's to be fair, I mean, I didn't have a lot to say about it. It was more a bit of a clickbaity title, I suppose, because it was an issue when I made the title for the video. Like, obviously, I've just finished watching it, so yeah, it's probably a bit more of. And like I said, it's just right because right anyway. Well, my point is most flat earthers think that Max is a shill anyway. So he's like controlled opposition at the very least. No, controlled opposition, but misinformationist at the least. Again, unfortunately, almost everything that the conspiracy world talks about comes from shills. Almost nothing comes from like a genuine truther. And if it does come from a genuine truther, it won't take off until a shill mentions it. So why people are so quick to discount shills all the time anyway, when you hear them speaking the exact same lines the shills are saying all the time anyway. And again, it's just like this. It's the whole battle thing, like the whole divided. We're full basically, and we're at a disadvantage already because we don't speak the same language. I had a little light bulb moment earlier. We're living in the times of Babel or Babel, if you prefer, where our language again has been splintered, so nobody can understand each other. And my basis of that is that nobody understands each other. Like, I mean, even when we're speaking basic English, because there's so many connotations to English that you take the meaning that you feel. You think you can interpret what somebody else is saying. Now, that's not understanding somebody. That's interpreting what somebody else is saying. And so, yeah, it's a bit of a crazy time at the moment. Like I say, I mean, and this kind of goes to why I'm such a defeatist at the moment. Say we lost the battle, like we lost the war a long time ago. We may have a few more battles in us, but that we lost basically. So, and again, it all comes down to the fact that none of us are ready to unite. I mean, you'd expect somebody like Max Egan to be encouraging it, and he seems to. And again, this is where you can see people who play out the programming and who are still not. I mean, everyone's like got a cult element to them, but you can tell when they're following the programming of the cult when they start sprouting off stuff that goes against what they've just been saying. And you hear Max Egan and all these other people calling for unity, then all it takes is for them to come out and attack a group, which goes to show they're not the people they said they were. Right? As none of us are. Like I say, we're all hypocrites. I've never met somebody who isn't a hypocrite. And the agenda is to unite us, D. No, that's the thing. Well, I might have got a bit caught up in words there and said something wrong, but yeah, no, this is the thing. It's not to unite us, or it's to unite us in defeat, basically. Obviously, yeah, unification, I suppose, does go along with the whole one world order, everyone thinking the same and everyone being the same. And this is something Mick, Flat Earth Stillwater, has said in the past, or just Stillwater nowadays, that we need, and forget him saying it, I'm saying it because I kind of agree with him. We need bigots, we need racists, we need people that are going to shun what they think are less than others to keep diversity alive, like true diversity alive. so I'm kind of just rambling now, but yeah, my whole point is like, let's stop fighting for unification because it's not going to happen. So let's celebrate our diversity instead. Yeah. I'm done. I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, was he going on? Was he?
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna get a beating. Which just threw me off what I was going to respond to you, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I kind of just went on a bit of a ramble then anyway. I started off with a plan, yeah.
I think the individual is all that matters. Groups can be led by crazy people, so it's best not to join them. Okay. Didn't you read a quote out about that about 2 months ago, P?
Well, that was something else I did want to bring up, actually. Yeah, this charismatic leader. See, there's a movie coming out later on this year, Dune 2020. And it's a remake, obviously, of an earlier film, but the film was based on a book series by Frank Herbert. And the whole moral behind this is not to put your faith in people, in charismatic leaders. And stuff, and to regain your, like, keep your individuality and stuff. I'm kind of hoping they don't mess with the book too much and fit the agenda in, which they bound to, looking at some of the actors in it. But yeah, keep an eye out for that movie because I know most of you won't bother going and reading the book, even though it's books. They're amazing books, the Dune series. And yeah, we will. This is the trouble. Most people are waiting for this person or this movement to kick off before anything happens. Hands up, me. Like I'm not. I don't see myself as leading any kind of movement, so I'm not going to start trying. But under this, unfortunately, is Jed's comment. No one gives a crap about Krusty Egan. Well, 300,000 people would disagree with you because that's kind of, I think that's roughly how many people he's got sub to him, and his videos get an awful lot of views. So you can try and discount him because you don't agree with him. I certainly I agree with a lot of what he says. A lot of it I don't. I understand that he is controlled opposition. He has literally all but admitted it now himself with talking about assistance and all this stuff. All that, but the point is, yeah, you can't just dismiss him. There are a lot more people that give a crap about him than most other truthers. I can't think of too many other bigger than Max Egan. I mean, obviously there are some, but not a whole lot.
Dan's left the back door open. It's cold. Dan's left the back door open, and it's cold.
And yeah, no, we don't need bigots or racists. We see, this is the thing. Without the bigots or racists, it's going to be harder to spot the bigots and the racists because they'll just go under the radar. This is the thing. You kind of need the out there bigots and racists so you can then recognize it when somebody's acting in a bigoted or racist manner.
Sorry, didn't you do the same thing with Sasha and her sensitivity? Jed?
Sorry, what? I'm missing. That's not popped up yet, I don't think.
Jed said you're only using his name in the title because you got a load of views with the previous video, a Jamie Brown move, but he did exactly the same thing with Sasha when she had a little hissy fit over the trolls. Oh, the trolls! The trolls.
No, this certainly is a clickbaity title. I said that earlier on. Yeah. If you go back and listen,
and he texts me as well saying, "Can I use a clickbaity title?" He wants to go on.
Yeah, it's certainly not a Jamie Brown move. This is an original D-Cell move, like Eternal Padawan move. So yeah, I like to say I don't mind using a bit of clickbait every now and then. And also, this is kind of an experiment as well for me to see if this video gets more on average views than others, because I want to know why. Again, like you say, like you said in that comment, like nobody gives a shit about Trusty Egan. Well, how comes my video got like fucking thousands more views than normal? If you know what I mean, it's just ridiculous. But yo, Rock Lover, how's it going? But yeah, no, this is yeah. I can't even remember what point I was trying to make now. I'm all flustered.
Well, so when we've used tags before, like we've tagged PewDiePie just to kind of see if that would get different amounts of views, and we've used the vegan.
Sorry.
We've used the vegan tag as well. That just got some like salty old ex-vegans coming in here acting as though the show was just about vegans, and it wasn't. And right now it seems like we've got just a normal crowd of people. And
yeah, I didn't expect to get more on the live show. I wanted to see the rewatch value of it.
If we get different, it's not even what the whole show would be about. I mean, you know us, we put a title in the title, and then
we talk
45 minutes later we're on something completely different. Which is what I was about to move on to, because P Mars said something interesting. But go on.
Real people don't give a crap about Egan. Well, see, this is the thing. I mean, we've all got our own subjective idea about who these real people are, and like I say, I don't think he's a genuine person, Max Egan, but a lot of the information he puts out, I do think is genuine, if not mixed with a lot of misinfo, i.e. he's really pushing this 5G shit at the moment and all that crap with the connection to 5G and stuff, and he's really pushing David Icke at the moment and stuff. So yeah, it's obvious to anyone that he is controlled opposition, but all I'm saying is I can't think of any one piece of information that hasn't come from a shill. Whether it's been true or false or not, ultimately it's come from a shill.
And the other thing, he said here, ask anyone in the streets who Max Egan is, and no one cares or gives two craps.
And normal people in the street, normies.
Yeah, but the thing is if you ask them any of the points that we as a community here usually talk about, they'd just laugh in our faces. You know, you've said it yourself, like you can't talk to your co-workers the way that you talk to us, because they will just laugh at you. You know, I don't share our video out on my social media anymore because of how deep we can go, and I don't want my colleagues to fucking hate on me. Let me go back up anyway, because where is it? PMars put real life is like a sci-fi movie right now with everybody wearing their masks, and it's fucking crazy. We were talking, if you were there last night, you'd have heard us talking about the similar things, and about how in England, it's been on the news of the past couple of days saying that we might have to wear face masks mandatory to go to the supermarket. I understand that sentence wasn't in an order.
Who's paying for these masks? I'm not fucking ordering masks. So unless they're going to supply the mask, they can fuck the fuck right off.
Right? Exactly. I don't want to be wearing a face mask. But what's funny is every time I hear the word face mask, I picture it as like a cosmetics. I picture it as, putting on a face mask, like, they're washing it off. So when people are like, oh, has anybody found a good homemade face mask they can make? And there's me starting to type about oats and bananas. And then I'm clicking. They're like, no, they mean a face mask, not a face mask.
No, that's genius. Why hasn't anyone done that yet? A truther just gone and bought like a face mask, put it on, and walked to the fucking shops. Like,
I think I have a paper face mask, so I might do that. Like the hydration paper face mask. But I've also got like a kilo of a face mask from my work in the freezer. I might just put that on and just off I go, but it looks a bit like baby vomit.
Down the fucking shop,
it's good. And hello, Rock Lover. Rock Lover says Sasha has still not forgiven me about Men's a Girl can't change a Hoover bag. Lol. Yeah, that was funny. And Thank you for the hair compliment. I fear if I talk more about my hair, Jed will be cross. So Sasha is ridiculous. I can't even listen to her. Same.
Yeah, well,
Same.
this is the
She
thing.
makes me
Females
kill
brought up a
myself.
brilliant point. Like, imagine bragging about me being Men's a member. So I tried to read it as I heard it, but yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, no, but that's the great thing, because a lot of truthers will poo-poo intellectuals because of the way intellectuals are taught and tested. So yeah, trying to base anything, and even changing a whole channel name to Men's a Girl. I mean, that obviously I told everyone a long time ago. That was when I completely lost any kind of respect and couldn't really be asked anymore. Right? I mean, because again, this is the exact kind of thing that most people would have been poo-pooing, and she herself has poo-pooed in the past, like intellectuals and stuff. So
the thing with standardized testing, though, does it really? I don't think a standardized test can ever really truly calculate somebody's intelligence.
No, with the different tests for different parts of your intelligence, I think it's like like I said before, I used to base a lot of my what was it, Donny Kruger effect on the fact that I had a 120 IQ, a 120 IQ, which was like above average and all that kind of shit. And honestly, I used to get so pissed off when people had attacked me for being stupid, and then you realise it's all bullshit anyway. Yeah, I'm thick as shit. Or as thick as the next person that hasn't done or got the necessary information to know something, basically. Yeah. Because this is the thing, what you find out is nobody's not intelligent, just they have access to less information, whether through choice or ignorance or just nescience, I suppose, in a way as well. Nescience is not having information available for anyone who's that's a new word to. It's a relatively new word for me.
Academia is not a measure for intelligence. No, definitely not. I mean, when I was at college, I failed my AS levels, which are the ones like you do AS level and then you do A level. I failed the AS level because I just cannot do written tests. I struggle to articulate with words sometimes, but articulating on paper I find very difficult because I get ahead of myself and then I miss out words, and I have no connecting words. There's no ands, buts, ifs, anything in the paper at all. It's all just mumbo jumbo and doesn't actually make sense because I get so ahead of myself and I want to get all of this information out really quickly, and it doesn't. And yes, I will get to that. I was going to do a video about Mensa Girl being smarter than a 6-year-old. There's many children that are registered Mensa members, so it really doesn't mean fuck all her thinking she is intelligent. No, it's difficult because is intelligence just the data that you collect and retain? Is that intelligence, or is intelligence being able to?
It's the recall of information is the true measure of how intelligent you are, because it doesn't matter how much information you've got if you can't recall it. So that's how I realised I'm thick as shit, because I can only recall information that's close to what I'm thinking about or have been thinking about. If you get me, I can't instantly just go from one subject to another recalling information. I've got to kind of get into that train of thought, which is not necessarily a great thing, but it does help you then focus on the task at hand. So yeah, I'm great at focusing, but not necessarily at multitasking. So
yeah, so see, I always feel like intelligence isn't just being able to recall it. Intelligence is being able to connect those dots and then think for yourself, like being able to intake the information and use that information to form your own argument, form your own opinion, and actually process it. Because there's one thing being able to soak in information and then like regurgitate it, but it's a different thing being able to soak in that information and actually fucking use it.
Yeah.
And
that's
if you're just doing a test, so if Mensa Girl's just doing a fucking test and not actually having to manipulate that information into actual information, and not just writing down what they want to hear or repeating what they want to hear or typing what they want to hear, etc. Is that actually really intelligence? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. My next door is a university speaker and can't dip his oil in his car. Just his lawnmower blades. It's fun.
Right. Well, so before we go off on the same count, I say that the point of intelligence is, right, everything you have ever heard, everything that you have ever learned, every single piece of information you've ever encountered, you have in yourself. Yeah. So this is what I mean when I say you already have the answers, basically, whether it's subconsciously or not, it doesn't matter. It's all in you. So this is why hypnotists can get people to remember stuff, like even like lines from books. How many, like you see Darren Brown with his mind tricks and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure how camera manipulated that is and stuff, but if it's true what he can do, it just goes to show, like, again, we're not being taught properly, because otherwise we'd all be able to have this perfect recall when we needed it and when we wanted it and stuff, because we'd all be taught how to do it. But yeah, and yeah, so intelligence, yeah, I mean, it's the best measure of anything is to how much of that information you have access to at any one time. So this is what I mean. So some days you can be stupid, some days you can be really smart, because some days you have access to a lot more information than others, because your brain's just in a different state than it was the day before, the minute before. Or you may, like, I find myself sometimes saying a sentence, then thinking I'm disagreeing with what I'm just fucking saying, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Because my brain's engaged and I've thought about it, and yeah, and that's another way when you can catch yourself in programmed responses and stuff as well.
And I also find that, say, last night was a really good night with Jed, so today my brain doesn't want to think. My brain isn't here. My brain is not.
You pushed it for time last night as well, because you stayed up to what, 3 o'clock, wasn't it? Gone 3?
Yeah, and then me and Dan were up till what, 3:30?
Yeah.
It was a good night. So now and then waking up, my brain's just ugh. I see. I read his Sasha comment out.
Yeah, it came through on my chat anyway. Whether it's come through,
I've got it on live chat.
I wouldn't have been able to put it up on screen. But yeah, click live chat as well, people. That will help you get more of the chat. And yeah, well, again, see, common sense is situational. Again, there are some people, like, you stick them down, try and build a flat pack, and even with instructions, that'll struggle. But yeah, you put them in a different situation, and it will seem like they have really good common sense, because they just seem to have intuitions on how to do things and stuff.
Yeah,
it's So yeah, common sense. It's again, it's a situational thing. We all have it, and we all don't.
Do you want to drop the link?
Oh yes, of course.
By the way, because we've been rambling for 43 minutes. Rock Lover says best thing he's learned to do was drive a car and ride a motorbike. I've driven a car once, and I crashed into a big rock. So I don't think it's wise that I get behind a wheel again anytime soon. This was like 10 years ago.
Well, there's a lot of people who shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car, unfortunately, but because we think we have the right to drive, they basically, you can take your test as many times as you want until you pass it. There's no limit, so anyone can get their license, and this is the problem, because I do hate to segregate, but unfortunately, amongst the gay community, there was an awful lot of and that anyone that has that in normal everyday life shouldn't be behind the wheel. Like, whether you're gay, straight, or anything. If you're a person, then don't ever drive. Don't even bother trying to drive, because you will cause an accident. You will feel bad about it, and you can never undo it.
Okay, so
and that's only because the only types of accidents I've been around has usually been involved a person, and the only reason the accident happened was because the person didn't react properly in the situation. So yeah.
Right. So I was 17 or 18 at college, and we were driving from Stratford to Birmingham, which is about 35, 40 miles. And so my friend, who was a year younger than me, I was 18, she was 17, she'd just passed her driver's test, and she was rich, like really rich girl, and she had this massive, great big, like high techie car, like 4-wheel drive crazy car. It was fucking huge, like so big that 4 of us could sit in the boot with a massive pizza around the boot, like, because we were college students. Where else are you going to eat a pizza but in a boot? But anyway, so we're driving down the motorway.
Yanks.
Yeah, and because we're coming from Stratford is quite farmery, and there was one of those great big like hay carriers. It had like loads of stacks of hay on the back of the wagon, and bits of hay are flying off because we're going like 70, 80 miles down the motorway. Bits of hay are flying off at her windshield, and I'm in the front, I'm in the passenger seat with her, and 2 of my friends are in the back, and she literally screamed because this hay was flying at her windshield, threw her arms up, took her hands off the wheel, and he's like screaming like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And I can't drive, I don't know what I'm doing. I've had to grab the wheel because we're starting to like veer off like into the faster lane, because we're in the left hand lane. Can't go in the right hand lane because that's too fast for you Yanks. Just it's the other way around, obviously. And yeah, she's panicking, and I'm like having to hold the wheel on a fucking motorway, never driven in my life, terrified. And I was like, right, you need to pull over because I can't pull over and slow into the hard shoulder. It's fucking terrifying. And so yes, I agree, anybody who's screamy and panicky should just not drive. It shouldn't be a thing.
You don't have a right. You do not have a right to drive. You are literally putting other human beings' life at risk. But if you drive, if you're that kind of person and you've heard this message and you go and get a driving license, you are now a terrorist. You're a cunt. No, you're a terrorist. Yeah.
Yeah, no, terrifying. Yeah. I haven't had many near-death experiences. I wouldn't say it's a near collision experiences. I've been in a car crash. I think I've just been in one car. Yeah, I've been in a car crash. And I was late for school, and my teacher shouted at me. I was like, well, it wasn't my fault. I can't drive. I'm like 13. Leave me alone.
I've been in 2 where I was the driver.
Was it your fault?
Well, it's technically my fault, the first one, purely because I wasn't keeping a very good check on my car. And when I put my foot on the brakes, instead of slowing down, it just brakes locked and it went. And yeah, I was miles behind that person. Like, I mean, it's not like I was tailgating or anything. So it was my fault for not checking the car, keeping the car properly checked. The second one, somebody pulled out onto me. So, and they were another person. So yeah, and I've been in the car like during other accidents, and like I said, there's always a person involved. So, or almost always.
So you think that not everybody
nobody expects you to jump on tonight, mate? Especially, yeah. I imagine your head's a bit worse for wear. But sorry, Kate, Scott.
So you think not everybody should drive? Are there other things you think not everybody should be entitled to do?
Oh,
like have children?
Almost everything. Yeah, certainly. Well, no, not necessarily have children, because that, again, in this system, there are people that shouldn't be having kids just because they're not equipped to have kids. Like, I luckily, like I say, because of my experience as a child, I was kind of born into parenting in a way, like raised into parenting, because I was the eldest child. Mum was a pisshead, druggie, always off like working basically and stuff. So she could make money for drugs. So yeah, I basically pretty much brought up my younger 2 brothers and stuff. And yeah, obviously my mum's awesome now. She's sorted herself out. Like, by the time she'd had my youngest brother, who's 13 years younger than me, and it's but other than that, a lot of times today. It's like, well, you hear it, people saying like, oh, fucking, I'd rather be at work than home with the family and all this kind of stuff. Now, well, there were times where my kids would get annoying and all that kind of shit. It wasn't because of me, it was because, well,
I
it's
meant
not
to
popped up.
mention her. I meant to mention her yesterday. Did anyone else see that lunatic pop up yesterday on Jed's stream?
Right,
She's
no,
crawled out of her little box. Oh, she's funny. Am I watching a clown or a whale or a mix of both? Wow.
Oh wow, you such a loving, caring person. Listen, to be fair, it's
Positive
probably,
vibes
well,
only.
no, it's probably a sock account with no way of checking anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's probably
We have
somebody
no
just
way of
trying
checking.
to come in and.
But I saw on
some
Jed
shit.
the other day. But that is kind of something that I'd imagine she would say. But then again, would she typo whale? I'm not sure, because that is the same picture. Would she typo whale?
I don't know. Like I say, I mean, it doesn't matter anyway either. But yeah, that's one of the big problems with YouTube now is you can't go and check who's a real person or not. So really, you can't just take it for granted that somebody is who they appear to be on the screen. Yo, Donald, unimpeachable Trump. How's it going?
Hello, Donald. How are you doing, mate? What's going on? Sorry, I interrupted your flow then with my hysterical laughing.
I can't even remember what I was talking about now. So it doesn't matter.
We were talking about people's right to children.
Oh,
because we obviously have to talk about the world that we're living in. We can't talk about ideal.
That's again, this is natural law. That there's nothing that I can think of that is a reason for taking away someone's right to have a child if they so wish to. But many other things in life, certainly, yeah. I mean, you should be tested before you even get a job to see if you're capable of doing the job right. It shouldn't be assumed that because you're a human being, you're capable of doing every job right. I mean, like I said, I'm a tyrannical anarchist. Like, I mean, in an anarchic society, I'd be awesome, but we don't live in an anarchic society, so I'm a tyrannical fuck. And I honestly think that most people don't deserve the job they got because they don't do it properly, they don't give a shit about it. And why should they? Because they probably don't want to be doing that job. They have to do that job, not want to do it. And yeah, but so yeah, there are lots of things. A lot more things I think we should be tested before we do. Marriage for a start. I don't think you should be allowed to get married unless you've lived with somebody for 5 years.
5?
That person for 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. I'd have probably gone with
only
3,
because
but
marriage. All right, now, actually, no, fucking nowadays, marriage isn't a big thing anyway, so it doesn't matter. If marriage was taken as seriously as it was once upon a time,
but that's the thing. Marriage should be taken seriously. It should be. You know, me and VB have both said about family roles, and about people staying together and stuff like that. I see, even though my parents got divorced, I wouldn't want to get married unless I was 100% sure that's the person that I want to be with. Not because I'm religious, because marriage is obviously a religious thing, but the construct of kind of giving yourself to somebody else and them doing the same, I just think that it should be more. You know, I just think it should be how it used to be.
No, you're right there, Jed. It was Jamie Brown that fucked it up for everyone else. He's a fucking cunt, and he fucked it up for us all.
P-Mars says it's not her. Donald says he's about to make dinner, hopping around, showing love, hitting likes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I mean, I don't know, nor do I really care. We don't tend to have many people coming on being dicks. So, you know.
It's crazy how people try and keep you in the past. But that kind of actually, yeah. My point of marriage, yeah, the whole concept of marriage is ridiculous because you're accepting that person for how they are now and expecting them never to change. And that's a ridiculous concept. Like somebody not changing their entire life. Like, and this is why most marriages don't work nowadays, because people live longer, so they've got more of a chance of change. There's more opportunity, so they've got more ideas they can have, more freedom they can have. Yeah, I know we live in such a tyrannical society nowadays. I'm talking about freedoms here. But yeah, so it's marriage has basically been exposed for what it is. Now that we have longevity and choice.
Yeah. Chris says he's been with his missus for 20 years. We have no inclination to marry. He can't understand people that are together a matter of months and then get married. Yeah, I have. Well, they're not friends anymore. They fell out with me because they're psychopaths. Because I am fantastic. But they got together about a month before Dan and I got together, and we've been together for almost 2 years now. And they got engaged before me and Dan got together. They have been together a month longer than Dan and I. So they were engaged after a month, and they got married October just gone. Like, that to me seems psychotic.
Yeah, no,
I could understand if one of them's dying. Oh yeah, he's all stressed. Yeah, I could understand if one of them's dying, maybe, but I don't think there's any reason to rush into marriage and nonsense. Just even being engaged as well. You see these people who are engaged for like 10 years. No, get married. If you're going to be engaged, like the concept of getting engaged means that you're going to get married. And my cousin's always said she will get engaged when she can afford to get married. She doesn't want to be engaged to be engaged. That's dating, being in a relationship, you know.
See, marriage isn't any different than anything else, apart from that piece of paper that binds you. It's really not. If anything, it gives people ideas that they then own the other person and stuff. And marriage can make things worse, not better. Put it that way.
Yeah, whilst yes, it can, but also if you're in a loving, stable relationship. So, say for example, you've been with somebody.
You may think you're in a loving, stable relationship. I wouldn't have got married if I wasn't in a loving, stable relationship.
Yeah, no, I know what you were going to say, and I know, but like, if let's say that you're 80 and you've been with the person that you're with since you were 20, right?
Yeah.
And then you never got married, but you look back at all of the money you could have saved on taxes by getting married, like, you know, because you get less tax when you're married, and you get less, you know, you get taxed less when you're married. So marriage is great.
Well, it's not. Marriage is literally just you combining your corporations legally. That's basically that's all it is. Like all you've got to do if you really want to be married is live together for 6 months, and you're common law husband and wife anyway. So
is it just 6 months?
I think it's just 6 months. Yeah, you got to live under the same roof for 6 months. Yeah.
That can't be right.
I'm pretty sure that's right. Check it out. I mean, this is information that I've held on to since a long time, so it could be very poor information I've just held on to. But I'm pretty sure
common law marriage.
They're not just popping up. Right, I'll have a look as well. Speed this up.
Well, I'm not going to click on Wikipedia because that doesn't necessarily have to be England.
Oh, 1 year. Oh, that's American though. That's because that's talking federal.
Yeah. I can't find anything. I'll let you guys Google it and you can let me know.
Ah, there you go. There's no such thing as common law marriage in England and Wales.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, so there you go. I was completely wrong. You can never be common law in England and Wales.
The more you know, guys. So Jamie Brown is a flipping idiot. Wants people to go to his channel to grow it. then his rules are not to self-promote. Seriously, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oxymoron much.
Rock Lover, married at 17, divorced at 23. She didn't like drag racing or surfing. We was too young. Yeah, this is the thing, that those friends that I had, she's 21, or she might be 22 now, but she's in my mind, that's too young, you know. I think mid-20s is the earliest somebody should be getting married, like the earliest, and that's once they've been together for a while, you know. So and Jess gone quiet.
No, I'm just marriage boggles my mind. Like I say, now thinking of it with what I know, like I say, like how people are so easily tricked into it, and it's because you see it in the movies. Women are expected to want this big, fantastic day and all this kind of thing, so they've got to live up to that expectation. And of course, they're going to be disappointed because that only happens in the movies. And yeah, it's ridiculousness. I mean, fair enough. I think we only spent about £1,000 on getting married, me and my ex. So we didn't exactly spend like shitloads of money. It was a registry office with like a fucking 200 quid fucking reception afterwards. Like, I mean, it's not. I mean, it was all right. Don't get me wrong. It was a good time. That was the last time I had a fight actually on my reception evening, and that was with the brother-in-law, the new brother-in-law.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't. I'd like to not be. I don't want to get married in a registry office.
No, it's crap. It's really bad.
Don't want that. But I also don't want to get married in church.
No, if I was to do it again, I'd like go up onto Dartmoor, get married at a tour, or buy some old ruins somewhere. So somewhere just like that is aesthetically pleasing to me. Yeah, and I wouldn't get married again. So Tiff, if you're watching, don't get your hopes up.
She posted something on Facebook. I don't know if you saw what she posted on Facebook.
I have not been because I'm banned. I'm like, fuck you, Facebook. I'm not going on. So
it was Clinton. Clinton gave me hope, and Bush gave me intelligence, and Obama gave me trust, or something like that. And then something really negative about Trump gave me something else. And I was like, okay, so the pedophile versus the man who killed his own versus the warmonger versus just an orangutan. Like, and then she was like, that was mean to orangutans. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, bless her. Tiff is quite carried away with the programming, unfortunately. So.
Oh, I mean, she's great. Like, Tiff's awesome. Like, she's so sweet. But I wanted to just wobble her, you know.
Oh, trust me, I've had some moments talking about this coronavirus shit with her, like, fucking hell.
Yeah, no, like I don't want to be mean either, you know. I don't want to be mean. So sometimes I'll just put laughing reacts.
I'm mean, yeah. Like
I'll just put laughing reacts to her posts instead.
Yeah.
Just like, no. It's not
I
right.
tend to now, rather than be mean, in fact, I'll say, right, that's enough about. I'm just not talking about it
anymore. We're done here. Jed says he'll marry P. He can play the abusive husband role pretty well. You identify as a hot woman now, Jed.
Bully you. Stop being such a bully. Let people be.
He wants us to carry on talking about Max Igan. Did he go trans?
Did Max? What, is he a trans, or has he gone into the trans agenda? Because I don't think there's any question that he's a bloke. Big bald head like that and shit. But no, I'm not sure. I don't think I've heard him speak about the trans stuff. Because that's still a pretty low level thing, isn't it? I mean, there's don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people talking about it in like our circles, but on a whole, I don't think it's a well known conspiracy theory at all.
Dad says he'll identify it as anything after a 90% bottle, 90% proof bottle of liquor. Right? I'm a tree. That was a long time ago, Rock Lover. Hots for a girl with the moustache.
So who have you moved on to now then, P? Now are you over Free Spirit yet? Have you moved on?
Who's your lady of interest? Some mop.
I don't know why I sat waiting for an answer. That was, yeah, I don't
She
think
said she loved me, but it was, oh, P. Oh.
I don't know what this is in reference to, unfortunately. So,
Tim Osmond's friend.
I don't know Tim Osmond's friend. So.
Yeah, you do. It's Jed.
He was on last night. Not this one in question, anyway. Not someone with a mustache, a girl with a mustache, anyway.
Jed has a mustache. We've just established that Jed identifies as a woman, so it's Jed.
Oh, nice. Free Spirit Star. Oh, that's cool. There you go. Got some hope there, P. Because as much of a nutter as she was tasty as fuck, mate. I'd have banged all night long.
I would not have. I'm not shallow enough to just fuck somebody because of their appearance.
I'm a man. Shallowness implied.
Yeah, but you can't just put a bag on somebody's personality.
Gag 'em!
I mean, I've only seen pictures of her, P. I haven't seen, like, her moving,
fair,
you know, so
we don't know too much, like, recent stuff, do we? We don't know how recent these photos and videos and stuff are.
Yeah.
Because she did that flashy thing in her face on one of the videos, didn't she, and stuff. But. Yeah,
I mean, my Facebook pictures, I look considerably better than I do here. Because filters, angles, hours of makeup, you know. And that's a very valid point, Chris. Nobody is beautiful when they act like she did, P. I mean...
Well, no, see, this is the thing. Being a nasty fucking bitch isn't going to make you any less aesthetically pleasing to someone. Or if it does...
Oh, it does to me.
See, I can not fancy someone because of their opinion, but I can still appreciate that they're attractive, if you get me. Just because I don't fancy every attractive person I come across, if you get me, yeah? I can appreciate their attractiveness, but...
No, see, for me, once somebody kind of comes out with their true colours, they are no longer attractive. And vice versa as well. You can meet somebody who's not that great looking, but then, you know, she or he is really nice, they're really sweet, and then their attractiveness goes up. But yeah, I see hot looking girls 10 a penny at work.
Yeah, you're desensitized to it, Chris, then. I'm a mere mortal, mate. No, I like I say, as I've always said, unfortunately, I am very easily manipulated by females. It's not something I'm proud of, but yeah, I'm better at it nowadays. But I can't say I'm immune to it. So.
I mean, the thing is, if somebody had spoken to you the way that Free spoke to P, you know, on the Trolls versus Trolls video from the Hitchhiker's Guide. If somebody had spoken to you like that, would they have a second chance? Because they definitely wouldn't with me. Definitely wouldn't with me. Because she was fucking vile to P. She was horrible to him.
Yeah, it would depend on how into him I was, unfortunately. Yeah. But yeah, no,
see, that's not good. Because what's to say she's not going to do that again? Like, what's to say that as soon as she doesn't like something you've said, or as soon as something else, like, that makes me kind of worried, P. Like, I have a soft spot for P. Like, I feel like, so because I haven't seen the trolly aspect of him, and because I haven't seen the him being too much of a dick, like, I I saw the way that she was able to manipulate an entire fucking panel to be horrible to you. Horrible. And it wasn't just once. It wasn't just on one occasion. You know, she was horrible. And the people who are in domestic abusive relationships, they will give their partner a second chance and a second chance and a second chance and a second chance. But a zebra doesn't fucking change its stripes. You know, once a pot, always a pot. Don't know where that's not a real saying, but
well, see, this is the thing as well. Now, see, I'm not having a dig here. This isn't just like a casual dig, right? But P. Mars is a very victim-minded person. So this is what I mean. It will, like, it could probably work. Like he'd probably fit quite well into a female-dominated relationship, because it'd help also with his whole victim persona, unfortunately. And I'm not, like I said, I'm really not trying to have a dig there. That's just my observation of the way you project yourself on YouTube. So what the fuck do I know?
She apologized for that. Yeah, well, my ex apologized for trying to kill me and putting a knife up to my throat.
Oh, did she want to kill you and put a knife up your throat? Did she get that bad with you? Did she?
No, my ex apologized.
Right. Yeah.
You know, didn't stop him from trying to do it again.
Yeah.
Didn't stop him from raping me. Jesus taught us to love people even though they have flaws. Well, he got nailed to a cross, so how far did that really get him? Like, not to be a bitch, P, but honestly, you're a nice bloke. I like you. You know, you are really nice. You could find somebody way better than that manipulative sack of shit. And I mean, you can unfollow us again.
She wouldn't even listen to VB for more than 10 seconds before she ran screaming in terror, thinking fucking like he's a demon or some shit. Like, I mean, Christ. Yeah. No, he's an NPC just set to be nasty. Ah!
Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, well then that's all right. I don't want to see you getting hurt, mate. Like, to me, you've always been somewhat nice, you know.
Like I said,
as nice as somebody on the internet can be.
I would like to see P with a decent woman. It would be nice to see him settled, and then see what he's like once he's actually settled. He's got what he wanted, and like, it would be nice.
Yeah. Free tries to use the most basic forms of female manipulation. It's embarrassing. Yeah, the damsel in distress thing to get all the other blokes to rally behind her on White Night. No, that doesn't, like, in our community, I have learned that does not wash down well. That's not saying it doesn't go very well.
It does. With the few people we have viewing us, most of them are okay. But yeah, on the whole, most blokes out there are ready to White Night. Like, they're ready for it.
But the community that we're in, and when we watch Jed's and when we're in VB's chat, there are a couple of types of women, and I would peg myself with Laurie and Barbie in the sense that neither of them get any, or I've never seen them get any hate. I've never seen them really be trolled.
You need to go over to on the imaginary curve.
by our community, the community that we are in. I don't see them, and these are the people that I like. These are the people that we gear our videos towards. You know, these are the people we interact with on a weekly basis, and I have not seen hate from these guys towards Laurie and Barbie. Yet I have seen a fuck ton of hate towards Free Spirit, Men's a Girl, and there was another girl, and I can't remember who it was. And they were all much of a muchness. They were all damsel in distress. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm so sad. You know, they're all victim mentality kind of people. And that didn't go well with our audience, you know. So, yeah. Best without a P, she will just use you and drain you emotionally.
Yeah. yeah, like I said, that's why I said it'd be nice to see P with a decent woman, like. So, yeah.
Yeah, it would. It would. It would be nice to see you with a woman that would compliment you. And this is kind of what we were talking about last night on Jed's. We kind of touched on it very, very briefly before Vlad happened. But me and Cigar Face were talking about how in relationships you should compliment one another and be in harmony with each other. And I was explaining how, you know, when we did the laundry, and like earlier I was planting the seeds and like sowing my carrots and shit in the garden, and Dan's taking apart pallets. You know, like that's the kind of, you know, we're doing separate tasks but we're together, and it's really sweet, you know, because we're both doing something in the same vicinity towards the same end goal. But he's doing the more masculine man break wood, and I'm doing the, you know, sowing the seeds.
Oh, see, this is good. Lockdown's good for you, look. You're getting into flow.
No, I mean, I said as we went into lockdown, and I typed in the group chat with the mums, I was like, I can't wait. Like, I can't wait for Dan to be at home and for us to be able to just chill. No, well, no, I mean,
no,
he kind of.
He can't be on the Xbox all day because I'd see him on there. So
yeah, no, he's not. I mean, my Xbox is on all day because we use Netflix. When we come in for a cup of tea, we'll watch like an episode of something. But we're out in the garden a lot, or we're doing stuff with Fred, you know, or we're shopping. We're doing stuff, which is fucking great. And then the mums on the WhatsApp group message that I'm on, a couple of them were like, when we were going into the lockdown, they were like, I really don't want to do this. Like, me and my husband have been together for 10 years and it's worked because we're never in the house at the same time. I'm like, that doesn't work then.
No, that's not working.
Does not work.
Yeah, that's the opposite of working.
if for your relationship to work, you need to be apart from one another. It's not working. Like, me and Dan, like, I hate it. You know firsthand. You know how bad I am when Dan goes to Ireland. I am on my own. I am sad. I fucking hate it. Like, I absolutely hate it.
A proper victim.
I am a victim of negligence, loneliness. No, I hate it. I really do hate it when he's not around.
Not being able to make a tea.
Well, I don't like making my own tea. Why should I make my own tea? So far, a month of lockdown, and we've not argued yet. That's great. 20 years of a relationship. That's fucking good, you know.
Fucking hell. I've been on lockdown for 5 weeks. I've been arguing with myself more than that.
Yeah, no, we don't argue, to be fair. But me and Dan were saying the other day, like, I'm a different breed of woman. I try not to get it to a stage where something festers for ages. Like, I mean, the other week I text you and I was like, don't really know how to approach this. Have you got any advice? And within 3 hours of me being annoyed, me and Dan had a conversation, because I don't think it. Shh. Because
shut up, you annoying bastard! I'm trying to tell these people how I don't get annoyed at you. oh, it's not Mick. How's it going, Mick?
Hi, Mick. But yeah, I'm not one of those people who, Dan never has to ask me what's wrong and be like, oh, you should already know. I'm not that guy. He's not a fucking mind reader, you know. So we have very good open dialogue. We don't shout at each other and argue to get a message across. We will just have a calm conversation, because if something's bothering us, we don't wait until it forms a massive, great big head and we have a reason to be angry, you know. So yeah, how are you doing, Mick?
I'm not used to that kind of relationship. I'm used to the relationship where there's no reason to be angry. It just happens.
God damn it, Tiff.
no, not with me and Tiff.
No, I knew
Tiff's basically like a blip at the moment. Like, I was married, well, we were together for 21 years. With Tiff, we've been together for
2.5.
2 years. It's April now, isn't it?
Yeah.
About 2 years.
Oh, oh, okay. Okay.
And how she puts
So
up with me, I don't know. But yeah, sorry, go
I
on.
have no
How's
idea.
it going, mate?
Yeah, well, you's all right.
Yeah, not bad. Just chilling.
Yeah,
You know
getting on.
how it is.
Do you know when you're talking about marriage? Do you think it's to get married is based on distrust? Like you need a contract. It's like because if you love each other, you should just be together. If you watch
Fucking
the
good
file
point,
for
actually.
£10 off you, and you says I'll lend you the tenner, but I says you want it in writing, it would be because you distrusted us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a bloody. It's a bloody good point. Yeah, it's.
See, for me, I don't see it that way. I see it as a like proclamation of love. I see it as the.
You know,
Honestly, I want a party. I want a nice dress. You know.
So it's to live out the little fairy tale that they've planted in your mind. This is what a girl should want, because it didn't. This marriage isn't your idea, is it? You didn't come up with the concept of marriage. It was put in your mind, wasn't it? You deserve this. This is what every girl deserves. The big day, all this stuff, isn't it?
Sorry, it's really difficult to. My hair was going. Yeah, no. I definitely think it's an idea that's been implanted into me.
Well, because anything else you would substitute for that?
Pardon?
Is there anything else you would substitute for marriage? If you could have some other thing, like say, once a month you must do this or you must do that to show your love, rather than just this ceremony that we told we should have.
Is Mick getting at blowjobs? Is that what he's going towards? Is that why you're gearing this conversation, Mick?
Well, that's your mind.
Blowjob once a month. No, I know.
Your mind going there. I wasn't thinking of sex at all. I'm beyond that. I'm over the hill now. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking other ways.
No, I mean the thing is that if you're, in my opinion, if you're in a good relationship, you'll do things daily that show that you love your partner without you even doing it. Do you know what I mean? So, for example, Dan will just randomly, I'll be sat in the other room, and Dan will just randomly stand at the door and be like this, meaning tea, and I'm like, yay! You know, that to me is one of those little things that, you know, shows me that he loves me. And you know, I do similar. I don't make the tea or the coffee, but I do similar things that show him that I love him. You know, I can't think of anything. It's because I know that I do these things, but you notice when your partner does them more than you noticing when you do them, because they're just, to me now, the little,
yeah,
they're just things you do. And that's why Valentine's Day, I mean, we didn't celebrate Valentine's Day mostly because his mum's birthday's on Valentine's Day, and then by the time Valentine's Day had passed, there was coronavirus, and it was just like, oh, fuck it. But last year we celebrated Valentine's Day on a different day, because fuck you, don't tell me what day I can celebrate it. And like, my dad's always been very much, it's a Hallmark holiday, you know. So same with like Father's Day. My dad's never ever expected anything on Father's Day, because it's just a Hallmark holiday. It's bullshit. It's nothing. Sorry, my phone's dying. There we go. So to answer your question, no, I don't think there should be anything that you should do once a month to profess your love. You know, I don't think there should be a, you know, for a relationship to work, you should be doing things just naturally,
yeah,
you know, out of love.
Yeah, you know, you're in a loving relationship when there's no nagging or no, like, over pointless little shit. Don't get me wrong, right? Obviously, if you've been asking your partner to do something for a month, he's still not fucking done it, nag the fuck out of them, don't get me wrong. But when it gets down to petty shit, that's when you know there's no love anymore. Or you should realise there's no love anymore.
Yeah.
And this is purely me looking back on my 20-year biased relationship. So
it's hard to tell when the turn comes, isn't it, Dave? You know, like what point does that go from this to that? It's hard to say.
I can't pinpoint an exact moment. All I can know is I should have left like a decade sooner than I did, if you know what I mean. So
if you think a relationship, when it goes like that, becomes one-sided, you might be making the effort and the other person isn't, and then it becomes worse for you.
I gave up making an effort when I realised there was no point making an effort. So this is the thing, I'm still rebuilding myself after this, because I became nothing. I became blank. I was just whatever she wanted. So this is what I mean. I'm literally, this is why I might come across as so inconsistent a lot of the time, because I'm still on that self-discovery thing. I'm still rebuilding after.
This is something that worries me in my own relationship, because I feel like men are geared to always do what the women want them to do, and do something because it will make your woman happy. And that's something that I'm worried that Dan will do things because he thinks it will make me happy when it won't make him happy. Like, if he doesn't want to do something because it's not going to make him happy, like something as simple as when I'm cooking a dinner, I'm worried that he's just eating it because he knows that this is something that I really like carbonara, for example. I absolutely love when I cook a carbonara, but it worries me sometimes that he's only eating it because this is fucking petty, I know. We don't have any, this just proves how fucking mundane our arguments could be. But like, I worry that because he knows I like the carbonara, he's not going to tell me he doesn't like the carbonara because he knows I won't cook the carbonara because I don't cook separate meals because that's a ball ache. So does he then just eat the food that I give him because he knows I like it? It's little things like that. Like, is he doing this because he knows it's going to please me? You know, because men are geared that way.
Anyway, really, would you?
No. Not at all. Not at all.
He's like, yeah, I think that
he says he doesn't have gears. He's a
human.
Easy
fucking going. It would be hard to know whether he's just doing it because he wants to, or because it's just the easy-going thing to do.
Because he doesn't want to fuck with the status quo, you know. Like, he's just so chill. But yeah, it is one of those things that I do worry about. He'll be doing things just to please me and putting himself out, because I don't want him to do that. I'd feel really, but you know how fucking, I don't want to say be sensitive, but in our relationship I am sensitive to Dan, very much so to Dan's feelings. So I yeah, and that bothers me about how men, the men thing that you were just on about.
But unfortunately, that does. Well, I can't speak for all men, because obviously I see men that don't live like that, that are completely the opposite, and those are the men that are actually more successful with sleeping with women, not necessarily in relationships, but getting the women. Like, it really, but yeah, it does seem that in order to make biased relationship, in order to make relationships work, you have to gear it towards the female.
Which is sad.
No, it really is. It is.
It is sad.
And this is kind of why I like being with Tiff, because she kind of breaks the mold in that respect, if you know what I mean. Like, she will always push me to do stuff, but there's never I don't think there's ever an expectation that I'm actually going to do it, if you get me. And there's a difference between wanting you to do something and expecting you to do something. So.
Do you think does it make a difference at what time you enter the relationship, at what age? Because like, I entered young, you know what I mean? We were together for years, so to get into one now, it might be more like what it is for you, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's a bit chill.
It's based, it's not like it's my way or the highway, but it's you deal with me or you fuck off now. Like, basically, that's it. Like, I'm not prepared to change for anyone. It's that simple. So if you can deal with me exactly as I am and never expect me to change, but know that I could, then join for the ride.
See, sorry, go on, Mick.
I was just going to say that's where I was in my mind. I got lost. I didn't really have any identity of myself anymore. Sort of broken, you know what I mean? I didn't get back to myself for years until we split up. So it sort of changes you.
Do you think there's a difference between change and growing, though? Because
it's the same thing.
I hate to see I hate to see Dan on his Xbox all day 24/7 because I feel like we've wasted the day together as a couple. So like I try and get him to come outside and do stuff with me, and he has. But again, I know that when he's coming outside to do stuff with me, 99%, unless he's breaking something, because he likes to break stuff because he's, you know, man loves fire. We've had so many fires, it's been great. He's broke so many fence panels, and I know he's enjoyed that. It's just stupid little things. But I hate to see him on Xbox 24/7 because like I feel like we've wasted the day together.
Yeah. But
so like,
what were you doing before he moved over? He was on the Xbox 24/7.
That's the thing. He was on the Xbox, but the thing is, we both were, because we were both interacting with one another, you know. Whereas now, because we're in the same house, there's things we can do together and interact together as a couple, which are just, to me, more life fulfilling.
Yeah.
But to him, maybe not, because Xbox.
Yeah, because you projected what's life fulfilling onto him, so you expect him to have the same expectations as you, and
exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's really difficult to then get that balance, to not push him to change, because I don't want him to change.
I also push for it, but don't expect it. That's the best you can hope for of it. Yeah.
It's a really difficult kind of balance. Like, I don't want him to always be doing things for me because he wants me to be happy, but I also don't want us to just waste our life and rot on the Xbox as a couple, you know. There's so many. I mean, right now there's very little we can actually do. I have been enjoying being in the garden doing stuff with him, but yeah, in our normal day-to-day life, it's not. Lockdown is kind of changing us, because in our normal day-to-day life, he'd be at work and I'd be at home doing stuff. And then when he came home, there's no way I'm going to make him like go and break some wood in the garden and do stuff in the garden, because man needs to relax, you know, man needs to chill. So it's just this lockdown. It's weird. It's just weird. It's just, oh, it's weird. I don't like it. I don't know. I like it. No, okay, I do like it, but I don't like how it's making me question what I'm saying and doing with Dan. You know, like whether I don't want to make him do things just for me, basically. I know, I repeat, I'm being glad.
Well, maybe a suggestion would be then, like one evening, just say to him, right, I want you to come up with something we can do tomorrow that you want to do, that isn't the Xbox. So put the pressure on him to come up with something.
Yeah.
Changes the shoe. It doesn't have to be all the time, just once a month, just for the evening before, say, tomorrow, your day, like we've got to do something different that you want to do.
Anything can happen, Dan Day.
Yeah. You know, like try and mix it up a bit. But see, this is the thing, because men don't always think around the box when it comes to relationships. They think everything's all right until the woman's nagging, or at least from my experience, that's the case. So just to throw spanners in the works or whatever, throw from curveballs and stuff every now and then, keep them on their toes a little bit. Yeah. Because men and women, we will procrastinate if given the chance.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Well, in the same way you need time on your own, you need together time, don't you? You're in a relationship. So you need to make that time for you to both be together. And when you haven't got a fixation on something like a computer, you just can think. You've got time to think. You know what I mean? If you just went for a walk once a week together. Do you know what I mean? You can.
Yeah. Last summer we did walk into the town a lot, which is a 2.5 mile walk. We'd walk into town, and I fucking loved that. I absolutely loved, because you talk about things you wouldn't normally talk about. But we've kind of done that the past week or so. We've had a fire in the back garden in a incinerator bin for a few nights this past week, and being in that setting away from technology, we've just had like music on in the background. But we have had conversations that we would not normally have in our day-to-day life, you know, which has been really sweet. And hi, Dusty, how you doing? What is happening? Drop the link in case any of you or raid folk want to join. Feel free. Hi, Snobby.
Well, and
Scott.
The other half, yeah.
Oh, and Granny. Hey, Granny.
Oh, get her done, Granny. Wow, we really are. Yeah, we're getting raided at the moment, guys. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Dusty.
Hope you like your conspiracy talk, but at the moment we're not really into the conspiracy talk. We're kind of going
about
a
relationships.
bit. Yeah, yeah.
Lockdown and relationships. Hello. Oh God, you're going too fast. Jason Hughes. I don't have my glasses on. Barstow, Ali. Oh, hello, Ali. Oh, Vic Noid's here.
Did you get Scotty Daniel there?
Shark. I don't know. It's gone too fast.
Hard to keep up.
Maybe.
What I would have put them all up on the screen. Right, let me start again. We'll
start again.
Dusty. Hello. Snobby. Hello. Scotty Daniel. Hello. Get a done, Granny. Hello. Park Nest. Hello. Chris, you've been here for ages. Piss off. Jason Hughes. Hello. Barstow to Vegas. Hello. Ali Mac Mechanical. Hello. Vic Noy.
Really
hello. Oh, I've lost it. It jumped. Edward Thomas. Hello. And I think we've caught up now. Oh, Tina McKenzie. No. Hello. Oh, no, it did skip.
Tina.
Raphael
we like Tina.
Scrapper. Hello. Yo, Shark Scrapper. Hello. I think that is now caught up. Wow. Yeah, how's it going, guys? I'm trying to get to that comment. So I'll get it off now. There we go.
Cherokee,
wow, yeah,
hello.
thanks for joining us. We've kind of lost our flow a bit. We were talking about relationships, really, just kind of how this whole lockdown's been affecting things, and
I'm having a woman moment.
Mick and stuff. Can't be going through the menopause already.
No, well, Lady Time's just finished a couple of days ago, so I'm having temperature fluctuations.
Oh, did I get Cherokee Rebel a minute ago?
I said Cherokee. I did it. I've done it. It's fine. Yeah. So we were just talking about how it started off. We started off with marriage, and we moved on to how often men do things just for women. Max isn't here. Sorry.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's you. Yeah, we were saying how relationships seem to be geared towards women's wants and needs rather than the relationships' wants and needs.
We were talking about when you and Dan went out and had a talk together. It was nice. You was talking about all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we were having a fire and we were just chilling.
Mick was actually listening.
Really sweet. Mick was listening. I'm happy. I've gone cold now. It wasn't. Well, yeah, it was clickbait, but we were talking about Max at the beginning. Is there a link? Yes, I'll put the link back out. I did put it out. I've done it.
You did?
I did it.
Well, I'm doing it again.
Sorry, I'm
it's because StreamYard takes so long to catch up. Yeah, guys, if it takes me a little while to catch up with chat, it's because I'm on the StreamYard screen, so it just takes sometimes up to a minute or two for the comments to come through sometimes.
It's just a useless co-host. Cake's just noticed you are better endowed than Sasha.
Mummy
yes, she is.
Making a weekly appearance.
Oh, Sue!
Hiya.
It's Sue time. It's Sue
Sue hasn't seen my hair. Sue, look, I changed my hair.
We've got Dusty here. Hello.
You've got
Dusty.
rainbow. Hello, Dusty. I haven't met you before.
No.
Oh, wow. Nice to meet you.
And Joe.
This is me, Mum. This is Sue.
Hey, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, my word. Look at the... I love the blue.
Blue that side. And then we've got purple,
blue. And you...
blue.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that screen. It's bigger, look.
Oh, it's emerald.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, sorry, let's put Cakes on the full screen.
Wow.
So she show our ego can get a good.
Oh, my ego loves it. You guys know what my ego is like. So yeah, that's the blue.
And the
that's
lads
the purple
can get a good
and
look
pink.
at the cleavage. Look.
the teal and blue.
Oh, I wish I had the courage. It took me ages. I said silver at 60 and I went silver at 60.
Because she used to do like
I was black.
What, it's plum, wasn't it?
No, I was black.
Yeah, I've seen pictures. Dee showed me all the pictures down the stairs.
Yeah.
And where you're super tanned with really dark hair.
The one with my daughters.
I don't fucking know who else was there. I was just looking at the suit.
I took them to the aquarium.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was a long time. Oh, good grief.
Okay, give this bloody hell.
Excuse me. Sorry,
We're gonna get a strike in a minute. We'll get kicked off YouTube.
Oh, darn.
I'm doing the cakes.
Doing the cakes. That's just rude, Sue. That's just rude.
You know I'm rude.
I know.
You can think of screen for them boobs, like.
Oh, cakes. You're looking really healthy. Right. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
And you, Sue.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah, watching shit on the telly.
Watching crap.
Have you not been watching us, Sue? That's just disappointing. You've upset me, Sue.
No,
I'll
watch you tomorrow.
I'm gonna sit here and discount your orbs for the next half an hour with Jed.
Yeah, it's just us.
To the pair of you then. Right. Gonna love you all and leave you.
Okay, so have fun.
Social distancing. I've got COVID. That was disgusting. I'm your bloody son. You don't lick my face.
This COVID nonsense. I am sick of it.
We all are.
You can't put the bloody television on without it being drummed in your ears.
Almost as if there's a plan behind it all, isn't it, guys?
Oh, is that? I wonder.
We're going back onto the conspiracy theories now.
By a conspiracy consortium somewhere.
Conspiracy theories.
I wonder where.
So how do you play?
Conspiracy.
Pretty good. Yeah, I saw your
they're gonna have a conversation now.
workbench.
I know.
Yeah, made me want to build my own workbench. I was like, oh, I need this. I need to do it. And you just put my cheap ass drill to shame. But to be fair, I'm much more a hammer and nails kind of person, and just like hope that it fits together. And if it doesn't, then we'll take all the nails out and we'll start again. I'm not a precision. Like, you're all like, I'm gonna line all of these pieces up and cut them, and that's just too professional for me. That's just not. That's just not me. I'm just like, fuck it, it'll be fine. Oh, you can swear on me, by the way, Dusty.
All right. I will say I did have somebody behind me telling me how to do it.
I can imagine. I've got to say, he's a bit of a perfectionist. So you're micromanaged.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I would have a clue. I would know how to do it, but he told me where to cut it, how to measure it, how to drill it, to pre-drill it, to put the screws in. But I done it with his guidance.
Backseat DIY-ing, Snobby. I don't know.
Terrible. I'd like to see you do one without, like, kick him out, send him to the shops to get the milk, and you do one. But no, I posted. So okay, right, bit of a tangent here. Okay, so I saw on Facebook the other day somebody was complaining about 2 people being in the shop at once. Now I'm a cripple. I can't walk for very long because my foot is fucked. So I have to take Dan to the shop with me. And I commented saying I cannot possibly send my boyfriend to the shop, because if I did, he would just come back with magic beans and that is it. Like, I cannot trust. He's like, I know Dan far too well. Like, that is what would happen. He would come back with a bag of crisps and like some beans and just come back with nonsense.
Snobby would do the same thing. I'd send him to go and get something, and he'd come back with everything he likes and nothing we need.
Yeah. Exactly what I'd have, like 10 Easter eggs. That's it. Yeah, he'd just come back with Easter eggs.
It'd be chocolate, biscuits, crisps, chocolate, biscuits, crisps, chocolate biscuit crisp, and maybe a banana thrown in. That'd be his healthy option.
Why have to get something healthy?
Oh, piss off with your healthy. Have you seen your snack drawer, D? Don't even. Yeah. Look at this.
I'm basically
Bags of
beef
Monster
Munch at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not the same as when we were kids, are they?
Not quite. They're the most similar thing that they say tastes like the old thing. They're definitely similar, but nah, you never get the old school stuff.
They were bigger and everything. Yeah. It's just like they were just a lovely crisp when we were kids. I used to like the puffs as well. The salt and vinegar.
Thanks, Rock Lover.
They were nice as well. So
thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
no, anything like that. Airfield crisps are good for me. I like them. Yeah.
All right.
Although Airfield chocolate, I'm not a fan of like Aeros and Whispers and stuff. I don't like Airfield chocolate.
Yeah. I don't really eat much chocolate. Snobby is a chocoholic. He loves chocolate. I'm not a choc lover, so he got loads of Easter eggs for Easter. Did you get any?
I did. I got 2 Easter eggs and 2 bars of chocolate.
Oh, yum.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah.
And they were all vegan. So, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Did Dan buy you an egg?
With my credit card, yes.
Yeah. It's funny. Snobby buys me an egg via me going out to get the eggs. And then to top it off, he eats it.
Fucking hell, Snobby.
Do you know, I went the other day, and as we was coming out of Asda's, we got given 2 free Easter eggs, me and my daughter. Because like I don't drive, so when I go to the supermarket, obviously I'm going to need my daughter there with a car. So we've been going to Asda's at 6:45 in the morning, queuing for an hour, being the first lot in there. And as we was walking out, we got given a free Easter egg. And this was the day after Easter. And we come straight home, and I said, oh, look, I've got a free Easter egg. And they just got put on the table where Snobby's eggs are, and that's it. He's ate both of them.
Sounds like my mum.
He's worried that they might go off.
Yeah, they do go off once you've opened them. You've got to eat them fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planet. No. So I'm just going to catch up with the chat really quick.
You can't unwrap chocolate and wrap it up. That interaction with the air messes with the chocolate. Honestly, if you open chocolate, you've got to eat it. That's
so
why I buy big
Snobby's
bags of
birthday
chocolate, because then I've got an
interrupting
excuse
you.
to eat
It's
it.
cake times now. It's Snobby's birthday next Friday. Are you doing a live stream, Snobby?
Yeah.
Awesome. I will be there with bells.
He's 50.
Oh, where's my party hat? D. Oh, okay, right. So whose birthday was it? Was it your birthday or my birthday that I just sat there on Jed's for it was my birthday. I sat there on our friend Jed's live stream, and I'd attached a party hat onto here, and it had 4 different colours, and all through the night I kept interchanging the colours, and I shit you not, it took them 3 hours to realise that the party hat kept changing colour. 3 hours it took them to realise. It was brilliant.
Oh,
and then somebody said, is that the daughter in the video? That's obviously to you. I don't know. One of your videos, Cherokee said it. Is that the daughter in the video? Unless they're asking if I'm your daughter, and in which case, no, 2 different accents.
Yeah. No, in the TikTok video, yes, that's my darling daughter.
Ah, yeah, that would be it. I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
I saw the doggy one.
Yeah.
Doggies.
Yeah. Doggies. They're so sweet.
And I'm also going to apologise to anybody who's come here from Dusty's Raid and is used to a more PC language.
Right.
Because here we swear, you can say whatever you want in the chat. I really don't care. We don't censor anything.
Government is
freedom of speech here. Yeah, very much so. You two obviously have a different kind of reason for streaming. Yours is more geared towards like building things and repurposing stuff, whereas we are here to sit here and bitch and moan. That is our purpose. So I can understand.
Come over here and bitch and moan then.
Yeah, come here and complain at things. 100%. Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I'd best show that one off a little bit, because that's what I made the other day. That's my attempt at I make geodes out of epoxy resin, and that's my attempt at a desert island geode. Okay. So you got the waves there and the desert island in the middle and stuff. But,
yeah,
so
I'd love to say I watched the video, but I didn't. I put you on mute so you'd get the watch hours and then had sex. So at least you got the watch minutes from me. But yeah, we're more geared towards bitching and moaning, complaining about the government and things. So we have our own separate channels, as you know, for where we make things. So mine is obviously Cakes Tries. Dee's is I'm stuck to myself. Dee's is Eternal Padawan, where like I'm gardening, he builds stuff. So there's the more piece. Although I lie, we both swear on both of our channels anyway.
I'm just a nutter.
Thomas.
Pardon?
You got to watch that Edward Thomas. Wink, wink.
Okay, you watch out for that. No, nah.
He's all
Edward,
right.
I don't trust you.
Very naughty. He gets put on the naughty step quite a lot.
That's disgusting behaviour, Edward. I am extremely disappointed in you. How dare you? As Greta would say. How dare you?
And how's your son doing?
He is good. He's super cute.
He's so awesome. She sent me a couple of videos the other day, and honestly,
I meant
I'm
to
not
put them on
joking. It was.
Is there any way you can play them?
No, because they're on my phone,
No,
and
me
my
neither.
phone is the stream, unfortunately. But yeah, he like from the mouth of babes is the response I sent to it, because basically he's talking about coronavirus and all this kind of thing, and it's Kate, you've got to put it up. You've got to
let me hang on. If I forward it to Dan, hang on. Let me forward it to Dan and then steal his phone, and I'll be able to do it. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Scroll up. We talk so much, D. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
But he's a little truther in the making. He really is.
I can't forward it. Yeah. Oh, I can. Hang on.
No,
am
you
I still here?
You go sideways. Yeah, your side. Oh no, you're gone. You're frozen now.
Oh, excellent. I mean, I can still hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you. You know,
like I say, you're frozen now.
That's okay. I mean,
you're a bit voguing.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then let me find the other one.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, PCs are where you do the screen share, and if you try it on anything else, it will tend to mess up, unfortunately.
It's a pain.
Yeah, you've just gone sideways again.
Yeah, hang on then. And now if I get...
Someone in the chat, Cherokee Rebels, a regular on my and Snobby stream, said, can you put your links in the chat? So...
Oh, wait there. I'll find Kate.
You stop that. Can I borrow your phone, babe? Did you close that?
Yeah, if anyone else
everyone's freezing.
And I will try my best to get it in there, but yeah.
Right.
I think everyone's a moron.
Can you hear me properly? Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. Okay. Hang on then.
Because I'm worried I won't freeze. Okay, that's ridiculous.
It's not the right one.
But why don't you want to wear a mask? Because.
Right, this one.
Do you think that coronavirus is just fake and people just want us to stay at home? Say a bit louder. Do you think that the coronavirus is fake and it's just and people just want to stay at home? Possible, baby. What do you think? I just think that because. But you think it's fake, and that who wants us to stay at home? For people. For police and the NHS and also the news people.
The news people.
Yeah.
The news people want us to stay at home.
Yeah.
Why do you think they want us to stay at home?
Because they just want us to be bored and lonely.
They want us to be bored and lonely.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, just all that.
Just all that. You got any other thoughts on coronavirus?
No, not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Not really. Not really.
Okay then, babe. We can stop now.
Okay. Yeah. So my son thinks that it's fake, so that the media and the news. Oh. Did you just kick them? You did. Rude.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I was
There you go,
trying to
babe.
readjust the screen and I clicked the wrong button and yeah, I
Thank
panicked. I do apologise.
All right.
Yeah. So there you are. My son thinks that that the media, the news people, and the police just want us to stay at home. That's and that it's all fake and it's just a ploy for us to stay inside.
Yeah.
And that's my son's thing. And that's without me saying anything to him. I try not to. I don't want to create fear in my son. So yeah, Dee, can you kick me and re-add me because I don't like being top left. I have a complex. Thank you. That's better.
Well, that's actually a good point. That put me back where I should be as well. Yeah, because yes,
that's why.
obviously, because normally we're the like actually I can.
You sort it out if you want. Fix it.
Let me just do that one. Do that one.
There you go, and then get them back.
Do that one.
There you go.
There we go.
Much better. Much better.
Normal.
Look at that.
Everyone with
Perfection.
OCD can now chillax.
Yeah.
This is our format, like me and him there. But it's weird being top left. Plus the live button covers a portion of my face and that just does nothing for my ego.
Can't be having that.
And how's your plants doing that you planted? Are they?
Oh, they're really good. I keep meaning to do it to film, but I get so wrapped up in actual life.
Yes.
Going to do actual filming is just, I just don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to wreck the kind of vibe of the day.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
No, that's fair enough. I mean, you know Jez, didn't you? 3D Prop Studios.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, a while back, I made a video. I took apart a microwave in 14 minutes. Then Jez done one on Ali Mac's stream on a Thursday night, and he took it apart in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And then a fellow YouTuber, Martin of Retro Restore, took another one apart in 9.5 minutes. So now I've been set the new task to see if I can beat 9.5 minutes without any drills, just hand tools. Yeah, and that's to take everything apart on a microwave.
That seems fairly simple. Sledgehammer.
Well, that's breaking it apart, isn't it? I think the whole point with the scrapping is keeping the individual components somewhat.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Just it'll be fine.
Make a video and try and beat 9.5 minutes.
I ain't gonna be able.
Somebody send me a microwave, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. There you go. It's, do you know what I mean? It's out there. I mean, I haven't set it as a challenge, but it has been developed into a challenge. Yeah. So if anyone, even in the chat, feels free to do a video and they've got to beat 9.5 minutes, then
done it, didn't he?
Partness has done it. UK Scrapper's taken away a part one. Tina McKenzie has taken a part one. I didn't know their times, but yeah, you've got to beat the 9.5 minutes. So away you go. It's a challenge.
Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put Dusty's channel in the chat. I'm going to put a link to Dusty's channel, so our subscribers, if they fancy taking up the challenge, they can post the video then, or know where to find you.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Thanks
this link coming in now, that one is for Dusty. I forgot to actually type Dusty in before Chris had
Fucking cabbage.
Yeah, so if you find one, Cakes, and you feel you want to show a bit of girl power, we've got to beat 9.5.
Out of interest, where do people find microwaves?
On the road.
No, you will find them in like skips, and people just chuck them out nowadays. Everything's disposable.
There's no time limit on it. If it's not a week until you find one, but it's there and it's a video, isn't it? And you have to do it with just screwdrivers and pliers and snippets. So
Okay.
all right.
The challenge, Chris, is to take a microwave apart in 9 minutes.
Better than 9 minutes. I'm going to try for 8 minutes, maybe a little bit lower. I've got to try.
Yeah, well, you've had practice with one now, so theoretically you should be able to do it a little faster anyway. But I imagine now you'll be rewatching your videos and other people's to see exactly where they cut a few seconds here, or are you just going to wing it? And
I'm just going to
wing it. Love it.
I'm afraid I have taken apart quite a few microwaves over the time and everything, so I roughly know what I've got to do. So there you go. I just want to have it with nails on.
Raphael's in it. Look, he's in.
I know, no nails.
I've got acrylics on right now because I taught myself how to do acrylics, and yesterday I was like, fuck it, let's put some nails on.
Yeah.
No, I'm scared to use my hammer right now, but in case I because hitting my finger with a nail with a hammer with acrylics on is gonna rip off my entire nail bed. Doing my gardening was a challenge. Normally I'm just like in with the mud, like fuck it, dirty hands. Whereas I had to put gloves on and I had to use a trowel because I couldn't physically grab the mud without feeling like my fingernails were going to snap off. Just had over 50 drones flying over. Not sure what the fuck they're doing. Maybe spraying. Interesting.
That's crazy, but I've been hearing a lot of this. People seeing drones out and about. That's not the first time again, and I think a lot of it is to do with just making sure people are keeping to the social distancing. That's what I'm hearing, at least anyway. It's the most logical thing. It's just another way for them to spy on us. I mean, we should be used to it by now.
Yay.
Raphael Scrapper said he's up for the challenge, and Jason says you've got to do it blindfolded. No, Jason.
We'll get to you have to move it on to blindfolded when you've got like an unbeatable time, if you know what I mean. When somebody's got it down to like 2.5 minutes, nobody's ever going to beat it. Then it's time to bring in the blindfolds and redo a scoreboard.
Yeah, and as Raphael said, he's blind anyway. Yeah, I'm blind. I'm blind without my glasses.
Mine are over there. I'm fed up with the ring light glare with the glasses, so I've left mine over there.
Snobby said he wanted to sort out lighting and that for when he does streaming, and I said no, because Cakes has got one of them ring lights and it reflects in her glasses.
Yeah, they're a pain.
Yeah, and he's done
unless you get your contacts.
That's what I'm going to try for.
Yeah. Well, I think who was it? I think it was me and you that were talking about when your glasses fall off your face.
Yeah.
So I'd want contacts for when I'm out working. Other than that, I'd use my if I'm just playing Xbox, glasses. Go on, Chuckles.
Yeah.
If you're in an air-conditioned area for a big part of your time, I wouldn't recommend contacts, purely because when I did a trial for contacts, I was still working and I was in a very air-conditioned office, and it dries your eyes out. Literally, it's ridiculous. It's so in the end, you like that. By the end of the day, just like it can get sore. So.
But what is annoying? What is annoying as well with glasses is when you put makeup on and you put mascara on, sometimes your eyelashes are dragging constantly on the glass.
It's a nightmare, that one. Yeah.
It is quite uncomfortable.
No, it is all the time, and then you get the blurs on your glasses. You can't even. Oh, it's crazy. I know. I stopped wearing mascara because of it. I really did.
Dorian said, all in a perfect straight line for mile after mile, so high up they look like orbs. But then Chris said, how high, Dorian? Because they have been releasing Starkin satellites lately.
Wow.
But the Starlinks are usually about 5 in the morning.
Mm. Right, Cakes, I'm going to go now because...
All right then, dear.
I just wanted.
Thanks
to
so much for popping by, Dusty. It was awesome to have you
Yeah.
on.
You're always welcome.
And you're the same to my channel. You're welcome anytime.
We'll be there with bells on. We'll definitely be there for. Well, I'll definitely be there for Snobby's birthday.
Oh yeah, that's Friday at 7 p.m. So
I'll put Snobby's channel in as well, so anyone can pop along for Snobby's birthday as well. Don't bring in conspiracy heads. Just be nice, folks, and
I would say two different communities. So for our followers, perhaps don't bring your conspiracy nut jobness over there. Keep that with us lot.
No, we're all right with conspiracies. It's just the swearing. We just like to keep the swearing down to a minimum. But conspiracies.
Well, I do because I'm monetized.
Yeah.
And things have changed a little bit regarding monetization and live streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. But other than that, the conspiracies are.
Oh, that's general chit chat.
Yeah, that's general. And believe me, Snobby loves conspiracies. That is his best subject.
Cool. See, I'm an ex-flat earther, so I go pretty far into it.
Yeah, no, he would as well. He's fine. But yeah, so that's Friday at 7. So everyone's welcome. And
awesome.
Thank you very much for having me, Kate and Dee. And I'll see you again
always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have
fun. Thank you for joining, and thank you for sending people over.
That's all right. You're welcome. All right. Bye for now.
The link back out. Have a good one.
But yeah, there you go, guys. That's Snobby's, and again, it's good stuff. Like I say, it's just normal folks sitting around having a yap. Like I say, a lot of them have got scrapping in common. But it's usually like sheddy stuff, gardeny stuff, you know, the kind of hands-on stuff. So, I mean, it's a great place.
The things we used to do.
Yeah. And I've gone to a few channels from
that's what
there.
I love about them, yeah.
Yeah. And, there's actually some useful information and stuff. Like, I mean, even if you learn how to fix a lawnmower and stuff from somebody and like practical stuff, there's lots of practical people that are around them. So, yeah, it's a really good place to be anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said so many times on here, we're so much a throwaway nation and throwaway society now. It's really refreshing to see other channels and other creators actually doing things with their hands and actually fucking not just chucking stuff in the bin because it's broken. Like, what can I turn this into? And repurposing stuff is fucking great. There's so many people who don't do that and should do it, you know. We've just become this consumerist fucking corporate lunaticness. So yeah, thank you everybody who is jumping off now. Have a great evening. Be good. Don't die. Yeah, I hate the throwaway mentality. It makes my blood boil. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's sickening. There's always something you can do with something. You know, a few years back, we had some good-sized cardboard boxes, and I was like, right, I'm going to make a cat den out of this. It's since got wrecked because, you know, cats, lunatics. So I bought some, like, burlap, some Hessian, and I glue gunned the Hessian round, and I made this really, like, cute place for my cats to chill. And I had loads of Hessian left over, and I could have just, like, fucked the Hessian in the bin and been like, well, you know, it's done. But no, I held on to it for about 2, maybe 3 years, and I've finally used it. I've covered loads of you guys will see in a video that will come out hopefully soon, that I've covered these white plastic tubs like this big that I'm using for planting. I've covered them in Hessian because I'm not going to waste a load of Hessian. Like, what am I, a lunatic? I mean, yes, I am a lunatic.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm just trying to kind of catch up on chat because obviously going through looking for channels and stuff, I might have missed something. But no, I don't think I've missed anything too important. And nobody was requesting me to put their channel in the link either, so, or nobody else was, but I could see. So
yeah, we're not a spanner kind of channel either. For those who have come from Dusty's, we don't usually send out our spanners to loads of people.
Well,
Just
nobody.
because
It's only me and you that's got one, I think.
no, it's only me. Yeah, it's only me and you. If we're talking about something and you have like some interesting information that's on a link that you want us to see, shh, Jesus.
Yeah, then I will link you up basically and take the spanner away.
Yeah. But it's difficult because, especially, I think it's, again, we have a difference in communities between the people that are in our chat compared to the people that were in Dusty's chat. There aren't really going to be many people that are hating each other, and there aren't going to be very many disagreements. Whereas in, like, say, our chat and in Jed's chat as well, there can often be quite a lot of opposing views, and if we gave a spanner to somebody, they might take it upon themselves to kind of stamp out the opposing view, which I don't see happening in Dusty's. You know, I've seen people who have said negative things towards Dusty or sexualized her. Those comments have been deleted, which is fair enough. But you don't see, I haven't seen opposing views in Dusty's.
Well, the only thing I'd delete in our chat is somebody if they were advocating for paedophilia. I think that's about the only thing I'd delete. I mean, if somebody wants to incite violence, that's on them. But yeah, I think pretty much paedophilia is about the only thing I'd probably censor.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe that, or like.
Well, you obviously have a spanner as well. That's your choice. Like, I'm just what I probably.
Yeah, that, and I might feel inclined maybe if there was some crazy like radicalization of a religion, talking about bombing people from any religion. That's not an indictment that only one religion can do that, because I know what a lot of people's minds would go straight to. But yeah, crazy religiousness maybe, but that's about it.
This is a whole different stream, but I kind of hope, like I say, we do get Snobby come on, and we do get Dusty come back at some point as well, and maybe some of you guys jump on as well, because it's not like we're exclusively about anything. I mean, most of the time we have a subject to start with, we talk about that for a little while, then it just goes anywhere. Like tonight, you can see tonight the title, Max Igan versus Flatearthers. You probably haven't heard us even mention that because we talked about it all earlier. So it's just the way we go. But sorry, Mick, what were you trying to say there, mate?
I was just going to say, like, if you talk about religion and censoring anything at all, it's like, how are you going to get to know what's going on, what's wrong? How would you sort it out if you don't ever engage in dialogue with us?
Yeah, no, I don't mean censoring religion. I mean, like, I would feel inclined to delete a message that was talking about blowing up a large portion of people because that's their religion to do so. That's what I mean, like, because I don't want to. I wouldn't want to see that kind of dialogue. I wouldn't want to see that kind of, I'm going to run you all down with a truck because blah, 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 blah. You know, that's just me.
If you deleted that thought gets hung in the air. It doesn't get questioned. It doesn't get points of view getting put across from it, does it?
I guess it would. I think it would depend on who wrote it as well. You know, like if it was somebody that I knew that wrote it, then yes, I'd want to open that dialogue. But if it was a lunatic that you know that you're not going to even have a chance of opening any kind of dialogue to discuss the reason behind it, that's when I'd want to be like, no, I don't need to look at that.
It's not the subject matter then. It's the behaviour of the person in the chat, the attitude and the way they're going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. There's no real subject that's off limits. Like I say, it would definitely be more the context of which it was in. So
yeah, definitely.
And even then,
100%.
like I say, so as long as I actually can't imagine ever coming across somebody who's going to be advocating paedophilia. So I don't expect to ever have to be like banning people or deleting comments.
Well, it depends if the shills come in.
People put stuff just to
I can't see, but
get a reaction sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, but I think even advocating for paedophilia, I don't think I've come across anyone that's gone quite that far. even as a joke.
Yeah.
And if they did, then they wouldn't want to be the person I was kind of around anyway. Like, so yeah. Wouldn't so much be censorship; it'd be I don't want to be around this type of person. So
Yeah.
fuck you later.
Yeah.
Can I just say something
Right.
about before when you were talking about sending down to the shop and you need to go, otherwise you come back with magic beans.
Yeah.
Right? From the bloke's perspective, a woman asks you to go and get some magic beans, and you know there's not going to be fucking any when you get there, and you're scratching your head, and you end up getting something. Do you know what I mean? Because like the woman asks you something to get it, and it's like it's not even there. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes.
I kind of get what you mean there, Mick.
I get what you mean, and that's where the common sense of a man doesn't kick in for me. Like, because if I sent Dan to the shop to buy something and that thing wasn't there, he wouldn't then think to buy the next closest thing to it. Yeah. He would then phone me or leave the shop without anything. So if I sent him to the shop, I would be on FaceTime to him the entire time. For example, Lady Time had come and he was at work and I had no way of getting to the shop. This was a couple months back. So I texted him with the exact picture of what I wanted, but it was the twin pack of what I wanted. And instead of buying the individual packs, because that was the one that was available, he phoned me up and said, this one's not available. What do you want me to do? And I'm like, obviously get the smaller or larger size of the same one. But he didn't. He didn't know what to do.
It seems ridiculous, but as most men out there would have been in that situation, and they'll be like, yeah, no, I know exactly why he did that. Like,
because he didn't want to bring the. I get it, because women are fucking
because
crazy.
he was on your rag, and if he brought home the wrong fucking thing, you'd have gone fucking nuts.
Me personally,
no matter what he brought back, he would go mental.
No, see, me personally, I wouldn't. I'd have just been like, meh, if that's all there was, that's all there was, you know. But from him being in past relationships, he wouldn't necessarily know how to gauge my response, because he's never had to go and buy them and not been able to get the one that I like, you know. Other than this time, it was when coronavirus had just come out and the shops were crazy and everything was empty. So he did what was the best thing. Like, he did phone me to make sure he didn't bring something home and then have me disappointed and then be like bleed all over the bed, you know. Like, so I get why he did that, but that's my point that I was trying to convey to this woman. Like, I would be on the phone to him the whole time. It would take him 3 hours to do the shop, especially right now with the shelves being bare. He would want to be, and this brings us back to men having to please women. He wouldn't want to come home with the wrong things and risk disappointing me, you know. So the best thing for him to do would be on the phone to me the whole time. So it's just stupid. We just both go to the shops. It's just the easiest thing to do.
Send you. I
can't though. I can't. I literally, I need his help because I cannot walk for that long without my crutches, and trying to grab things off the shelf with crutches and put them in the trolley is just impossible. And then walking with the trolley with crutches it's fucking hilarious. It's very funny. And I like knocking things off the shelf with my crutches as well, but then I need Dan to pick them up so that I'm not making a mess and making the other people pick them up. I FaceTime the missus at the fuel
reverse
station.
Situations, yeah. But it is, yeah. Women in cars, it's still the old stereotype. I mean, I still, it's not a stereotype though. This is the thing again, because we were talking about car accidents and stuff earlier. Most accidents are caused by women, whether they're involved in the accident or fucking not. Like, there's usually some poor stupid woman driving that can't drive properly. You're avoiding her, or she's looking up. Oh, fucking avoiding you, slammed on the brakes, and 2 cars behind the woman out of that accident and stuff. Like, so yeah. But no, it's that whole reverse situation, isn't it? That you've got the situations where the men are usually sat, i.e. shopping, and the situations where the women are usually sat, i.e. petrol station.
Yeah, and Sorry, go on, Mick.
Sort of works both ways, doesn't it?
100%. And this, it brings us back to relationships need to be in harmony. You know, like Dan could not do the weekly shop without me, but I couldn't do the weekly shop without him, and there's so many things that I could not do or wouldn't want to do without Dan, and that goes both ways, you know.
So I'm just fucking awesome. I can do anything. I do it.
He
like,
says having to get his brother deliver Monster Munch to him.
Well, I could go get them, but I don't have to. So, well, this is the thing, because my mum's at high risk. Like I say, whether I believe in this COVID is a deadly disease or not, it doesn't matter. Like I say, my brothers and their other halves do. So, again, I'm respecting their fucking rules.
We have to bow down to social pressure. We've spent our entire lives being told by teachers and our elders to not listen to peer pressure, not give in to peer pressure. And now I feel like I am having to give in to peer pressure. I am having to give in for the sake of my mum. Like, it was really funny. The other week, she didn't want to drive us to the supermarket because neither me nor Dan drive. He was learning while he was in Ireland, but he needs to apply for it. We're just lazy. So
I can reapply for my license.
Hey, so my mum takes us to the shop during this time. Normally, me and Dan would just get a taxi. So I've asked my mum, can you take us to the shop at this time tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I really don't want to. I really don't want to. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Dan and I will get a taxi and we'll definitely come back with coronavirus because we'll be inside a taxi and we won't be able to practice social distancing. Okay, fine. I'll take you to the shop. Yay. Oh my God, that is the most relevant comment I've ever seen this entire time. Jason Hughes. I don't know how I'm surviving without Greg's every day. That resonates so deep within me. And Subway. Subway. I miss Subway so much. I have complained about it pretty much.
So those places closed then? I would have thought they were food places, essential items, no?
You know how much I live off Subway.
Subway's Subway. Gone. You were like, you're always like, oh, I love your Subway today. Oh, I love
a Subway. Yeah. I'm always like, I'm ordering a Subway. Subway's fantastic. Like,
oh no, I've walked into one once in Bristol because my daughter was in the hospital having an operation on her heart, and we went down there, and I just looked at the meat, and it was all dried out. The veg looked all like fucking brown bits on it, and I was just like,
oh no!
How is this place famous? No. And I walked straight back out.
The thing with Subway as well, because I like all the veggies on there. I hate ordering Subway from a shop. I'd rather spend the extra couple of quid so I can order it online, so I know that it's going to be perfect. And then, like, there's no point me going to Subway and waiting for it to be like made. I'll just order it to my house. Yeah, no, I miss Subway and Greg's. I mean, I don't eat Greg's all too often anymore. But when I was working, before I got sick, I was at Greg's pretty much every day and I'd get my vegan sausage rolls. However, since not getting the vegan sausage, so for some context for Park Nest and Jason, I have been vegan for almost around 4 years-ish. And up until last October, November time, I was I'd eat just garbage, faux meat all day, every day. Since then, I have bought faux meat once, and it was last week because I fancied making a full English breakfast, a vegan full English breakfast. So I bought faux sausages. But I have not. We haven't eaten faux meat, and we don't use the freezer. Like, the freezer is just full of my mum's crap. So we completely fresh home cooked dinners virtually every single day, unless we order a pizza or a takeaway or something. So I stopped eating Greg's, and we're about 2, maybe 3 months after I stopped eating Greg's and faux meat, I had to get to an appointment for my son. So we stopped off at Greg's and we got a sausage roll, and it was fucking horrible. Vegan sausage roll. Like, I mean, so it was okay for, food on the go, the kind of standard of food that you have on the go. But yeah, no, it reminded me of how I felt after not having a McDonald's for a year, like 13, 14 years ago. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you know
So
do you know Subway food? It
yeah.
tastes like funny food, like McDonald's does to me.
Really?
There's something, yeah, there's something like about it.
I fucking love Subway. Subway's fantastic.
It looked disgusting. Like I said, I've never actually tasted it, but I mean, to be fair, I used to like. Well, my McDonald's order used to be 4 hamburgers, no sauce, and a large chocolate or banana milkshake.
Fucking hell, 4.
Mm.
That's
Oh, and
sickening.
4 hamburgers are tiny. Fucking hell, you wouldn't eat them in one mouthful. Like it's just like 4 mouthfuls. I mean, you see, it's not like I'm not a fat git, as you know. Like I mean, skinny man here. So yeah, I've never like been a chubby. So it's funny as well because I'm 42 now. I keep expecting the spread to happen, but
the dad bod.
No, it's not happening so far. I still look as good. Well, I don't look as good because I haven't got the tonnage I used to have. But yeah,
What's sickening is that you probably eat more bad calories than I do in a day.
I only eat bad calories. I have the occasional decent meal, but other than that, I eat shit.
And I eat really fucking good. Like, yes, okay, I do like gorge on hummus, which is just full of fat and protein. But for the most part, my lunches and dinners are fucking good, like good proper food. And like I just don't lose weight. I know that it's because I'm not active. If I put in some activity, then I'd lose quite a lot of weight very quickly. But yeah, it's sickening. The only difference that we can tell that my diet is better than yours is my skin is considerably brighter than yours, even without the ring light.
I've got pretty decent skin as well. To be fair, it doesn't get dry. Doesn't get dry or anything like that. I mean, I've got a line across here where I sunburnt it one year, and it really badly burnt on top. But apart from that, like I say, I haven't got too many wrinkles or anything. I mean, obviously, I've got.
But my skin tone is brighter than yours. Like your skin tone is more dull, which is what comes with eating bad. Whereas my skin is very, very bright. It's very, very clear. It's voluptuous, but that is also age. I am 15 years younger than you.
For my age, like I say, when I'm actually making an effort, shave the shit off.
You do look a lot younger with that. It took me like 5 minutes to realise earlier, didn't it? I was like, oh fucking hell, you shaved. Holy shit. Cool.
That's what I might do. I mean, I was almost tempted to cut this off.
You said. Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It's been growing too long. But yeah, what I might do is buy some dye for this, and just because, like I said, I'm not, as you can see, when I'm not bald, I'm not going grey massively. I've got a few greys, but it's nothing like that. So I might just try and match up that to that.
Yeah.
And I think that might knock a couple more years off just having a brown beard rather than a grey beard. But yeah,
I don't believe I've got any grey hairs, but
I can't tell. Well, how could you tell? Yeah.
I found like 2 in Dan's hair the other day. Can't remember when, but I found 2 in Dan's hair. And we found a ginger hair that was exactly the same as Dan's ginger in Freddie's hair as well. Freddie's got this like mousy, browny, blondie hair, like really pale, ashy brown hair. I know a woman who lost 20 stone of ugly fat when she divorced her husband. Savage. Absolutely savage. Right, guys, we've been going for half an hour longer than we usually would. Dee, I don't know how you feel, but I'm busting for a whiz.
My back, if you don't,
I can see it.
A little bit more, but
I can see it.
I don't want to complain too much, as you know. So.
Yeah,
I know. No, Mick, have you got anything you want to say before we jump off?
Piss off. Before we piss off, not you piss off.
I thought there was a better ways to stay to wrath, No, there's nothing I really got to say about. Talk shit.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, sorry, we didn't really get much of a word in edgeways there tonight, did you? We kind of, hold the conversation as normal.
Sorry, bro. Awesome. Well, thank you. Oh, sorry, mate. Go on.
I was just going to say I'll catch you later then.
Oh, okay, dude. Yeah, thank you for popping on. It's been a pleasure as always.
Good night.
Yeah, and I will actually get hold of you at some point and maybe get a conflict because I've not spoken to like Jez, Lee, anyone for ages. So maybe we could get like an offline group chat going with we'll just do a bit of a catch up or something.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later then. Good night.
All right. Cheers, man.
All right, Mick. See you soon. And everybody in the chat, thank you for being fucking awesome as always. Thank you to all the people who came over with Dusty. It's been very nice to meet. I mean, I've met quite a few of you, but it's been very nice to.
That was incredible. That almost like tripled our audience for a while at one point.
Yeah,
like, that was.
Everybody's recovering from last night.
But it didn't come in like networkers, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, come check me out. All this, all that.
Yeah,
it was just nice.
It was really nice.
Hello, saying hello to each other and all that kind of. It was awesome. I love.
Which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
It's not, but then Dusty's not a networking stream. Dusty's a fucking chill as fuck person, you know. So I couldn't imagine her like community to be networkers. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you for being here. You've been great. We'll be here next week, same time, 9 p.m. Which, yes, we know clashes with Dusty, but hopefully we'll we'll see you after Dusty's finished.
I may make the effort and like jump on and like at least in the chat of Dusty's next week because like I say sometimes do have on the background while we're setting up and stuff. So yeah.
Well, I often do my makeup over on Dusty's channel, but my glass on my tank, my mum broke the glass, which I haven't told her. I didn't want to make her upset, but she knocked my vape over earlier when I was in the garden, and it smashed on the concrete. So I had to fix that, and it took ages because the glass had welded to the rubber. Like it had all fused together because of the amount of sugar that's inside the juice, the liquid. It had all fused together, so I had to like pry it apart with some tweezers and fix it all. So normally I'd go on Dusty's and do my makeup, but by the time I'd finished this, I was like, "There's no point. I'll be there for like 10 minutes." Quickly like slap this on. But yeah, usually I'm over there. She's super chill. She's always so accommodating, which is lovely. And to all of our usuals, thanks for being here after such a late one with
especially to the usuals, I will say, because obviously the usuals that are going to keep us going. So, you show up, Laura, we got your back, usuals.
We care. So thanks, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Be good, be lovely, don't die, etc. You went to do your positive, negative, neutral
almost
thing then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you clock the 1 week where you did it wrong? You went positive, negative, neutral, like that.
No,
one of your videos at the very end, you went positive,
negative,
neutral. I was like, that's not right.
It's taken me so long to get it right. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I wanted to. Like I said, I just wanted something unique, right? That encompassed a bit of everything, because I encompass everything. Like I'm good, I'm bad, and I'm in between. So.
And ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Fuck off! I'm joking. Ladies all. On that note.
Thanks, guys.